Henry Lockwood. No, this is not. This
First
is
of
not,
his name.
This has nothing to do with him existing, not existing, whatever. Henry Lockwood, after doing an extensive search where he just got drunk at bars and called it work last year, he has found his Big Ten team, which is... On today's Pardon My Take, we have two interviews for the people. We have our good friend Peter Schrager recapping Hard Knocks Episode 2. So we're not going to start the show with it. We're going to talk about it with Peter Schrager, who does the Hard Knocks podcast. He has an insight into the Bears and how they film it, also the Giants. We're going to also just talk training camp with Peter Schrager, get us ready for some football. We also have an interesting, different interview with Grateful Dead drummer Mickey Hart and Wright Thompson, the incredible author. They have a new documentary out on ESPN today called Rhythm Masters, which was very cool, very unique, something a little different for the people. And we're going to do Mount Rushmore of soft things. We have Hot Seat Cool Throne. We have FAQs. We're going to maybe figure out who's ranked too high on the top 25 college football AP rankings.
I think they're all too high.
Maybe Brandon Ayuk getting traded. And also, Memes is very upset as a Jets fan. So we got a great show for you. It's brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. Throw another shrimp on the Barbie. Get in on the UFC 305 action live from the land down under at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. The middleweight's title on the line for the main event, but the card is stacked full of Rip Snorter Blokes and Sheilas.
Rip Snorter Blokes and Sheilas, cunt.
And speaking of stacked, if you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. UFC 305. It's going to be a ripper of a good time. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take, presented by DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers. Get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. UFC 305 is coming up. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Today is Wednesday, August 14th, and the Jets have a problem.
Is it a problem?
It could be a problem.
You think it's a problem? Is it a problem when you trade for a guy and then he just never shows up?
Well, so Hassan Reddick, who was traded for by the Jets, is at an impasse with the Jets because, according to Hassan Reddick, they agreed to a new deal. The Jets are saying if they will only do a new deal once Reddick shows up to camp, and Reddick is saying he won't show up to camp until there's a new deal.
So they're at an impasse.
They got to meet on the Jersey Turnpike.
This is why you hold in, you don't hold out.
I
Right?
actually was.
That's what they did with Darrelle Revis.
Yeah.
Back when Hard Knocks was going with the Jets a long time ago, he was holding out. They met at like a diner.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The Jets should just run a training camp practice from Hassan Reddick's backyard.
Yeah, and see if he shows
bring
up.
it to his house.
Well, the problem is I think he might be in Tokyo today.
Oh.
Or at least he posted something on Instagram that made it look like he was in Tokyo.
Either way, it is high time for the Florios of the world out there. The Rossinis, our guy Memes, diehard Jets fan, is very upset. And I don't think he has a gripe other than it feels like the Jets are not handling this correctly.
Well, when Memes doesn't like the news, he blames the reporter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if your house gets hit by a tornado, you blame the weatherman.
The phrase "don't shoot the messenger, shoot the message" just never has come into Memes' brain.
I'm kind of with Memes on that one.
Oh, of course,
because you can't shoot a message.
Yeah, if someone gives you bad news, you hate that
you
person.
Shoot that person.
Right.
That's what we do. I looked it up, and it looks like Hassan Reddick. He's scheduled to make $14.25 million in base pay. He's missed 15 days of training camp, which means he's accumulated $850,000 in mandatory fines.
Oh no.
And $300,000 in discretionary fines. Now, for every week that he misses, he's going to miss that week's game check as well.
Oh no.
Which is 1/17 of the $14.25 million. So he owes the Jets over $1 million right now for skipping work. Can you imagine if we fine people for missing podcasts? Can you imagine how much money we would make, Big Cat?
We'd make a lot of money.
Something to think about. But this dude hates work so much that he's willing to pay $1 million.
Sounds like they should trade him to the Bears. Memes. Your thoughts?
So yesterday I was pretty fired up.
Yesterday?
This morning you were
Yesterday
fired
count
up.
today? All of today?
Yeah, that was calm. That was calm, man.
Oh, that was calm fired up.
He
When you
just
told
thinks
us to
that
fuck off?
Anything in the past was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This morning.
You're like
that's
my
yesterday.
3-year-old memes where she's like, yeah, I fell yesterday, and she's talking about a month ago.
Yeah, I've calmed down since this morning.
Okay.
Not really.
And?
No, it is the Jets' fault. That was my first conclusion.
Oh. But also Florio and Rossini's because they told you.
Yeah, she's full blown Florio of the year.
Wait, did you say she's full of balone?
No,
or did you say
Full blown Florio of the
she's
year.
full
I
blown?
heard full blown.
She's
Yeah.
full blown, but also full balone.
No,
Full blown.
She's a system Florio.
Okay,
Oh shit, that's the meanest
damn.
thing you can say.
Okay, so
Florio,
what are you going to do? Can you give him to the Bears?
No, so I don't think he's going anywhere.
trade him back to the Eagles, flip him, distressed asset.
Memes was getting to the point today where he was just yelling other players' names and being like, take him.
No, you should take that other player. Hank knows.
Yeah, Hank, what do you have any players that are in contract disputes?
Matthew Judon?
Oh, you do know. Okay. All right. And how is that going?
They're working it out.
Okay.
Him and Mayo were on the sidelines having a nice conversation, seemed friendly and good.
Yeah.
Friendly and good.
I think he'll be on the Patriots.
Okay.
I think they're friendly. I don't know if they're good.
Friendly and good.
This is the offseason. This is how it goes in the preseason, you know? You gotta negotiate it. It sometimes, takes a little while, but the Patriots, unlike the Jets, are a, classy organization. They're gonna figure it out. I can't really say the same for the Jets.
Yeah, the Jets probably won't get it.
Something seems weird where they traded for the guy, and usually when that happens, you negotiate at least the outline of what the terms of the new contract are going to be once you get there.
The whole point of
Right?
trading for him is he's going to sign the new contract.
It's like when Chicago got Montez Sweat
Correct.
from the football team, they had a deal in place, and then they executed it. It's not just like a one-year rental. For the Jets, I feel like I don't know if it's on the Jets, if it's on his agent, or both. Maybe both.
Maybe both. Or Florio and Rossini.
I'm going to call Rossini real quick because
Okay.
she needs to respond to allegations that she's a system Florio.
That are some heavy allegations. Hank, I'm really proud of you for knowing Matthew Judon's contract issues.
Thank you.
We had a debate whether you would know.
Fuck.
What do you mean?
I'm locked in.
Yeah, that's why they call you Lockwood.
I watched more preseason football last week than my entire life before this.
Really?
Yeah.
One game?
Like 3 quarters. Yeah.
That's big
Memes,
time.
Memes might be right.
Yeah, she's probably on the phone with none of her sources.
Just busy talking to no one.
I said this to Memes yesterday. I was like, "Oh yeah, we'll take Hassan Reddick back for a 6th-round pick," and he was like, "No, that his value would be way higher now than what we traded him for."
No.
legitimately
You
thought
think he's gone up?
yes. Like
Yeah,
he
his
was like
value's gone up.
we would get more back than what we gave you.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works, Memes.
It might. Players go down.
You should teach a
Stock goes
finance
up.
course.
It might. Okay, so Memes, you got to get that figured out because I don't want you to be grumpy, Memes. And this feels like we need to just get him on the field,
Yeah,
right?
it's supposed to be positive. Just pay him. The salary cap is not real.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
The
fair
New Orleans
point.
Saints have taught us that many, many times.
Just give him the money. You have like 1, maybe 2 years of Aaron Rodgers. Just give him money. Let's have a good season.
Yeah, just make another
Stop being-
vaccine.
The fuck does that mean?
Johnson & Johnson.
He's right.
We're about to get another pandemic. I heard
Get
that
another pandemic.
Bird
and you can
flu.
get all the pass rushers you want.
bird flu's happening recently.
Nice point. Eh?
That's what Hassan Reddick has when he doesn't play after leaving the Eagles.
Oh, I forget how much Hank can just exist and get in under Memes' skin when it comes to the Jets.
Yeah, listen.
Or anything.
Or anything.
We hate on Hank a lot. A lot of it is deserved, but you have to appreciate the fact that when Hank is going up against somebody else, it's awesome.
Yeah, we did we were doing stuff today, and we did we had a little downtime, and we did the Mount Rushmore of reasons why Hank can't exist. And what were some of the things we came up with? It was speaking or not speaking.
Yawning.
You've gotten in trouble for both.
Being hungry.
Golfing.
Having any hobbies. Anything that outside of work that any activity.
Well, if your hobby was work, then I wouldn't.
No one's hobby is work.
No, sometimes you get mad at him for doing work as well.
Yes.
Really?
When I
Yes.
ask you work questions, you get mad at me.
Yes.
Well, you also trapped me in a conference call this morning.
Yeah, that's
True
the
fact
only
or
way.
fiction.
That's the only way to
Hank
do it.
said to me this
I
morning,
wasn't
he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna ride with you," and I get in the car, and he just goes, "Oh, by the way, we have a conference call that I added you to. Starts in 2 minutes."
And then he
And I
scolded me.
I couldn't go anywhere.
Liking music.
Liking music, yeah.
Yeah, you've been on his ass for liking Billy Strings.
Well, no, it's just funny. It's the only musician I've ever heard Hank name. I think he only knows one musiciation.
No, that's not true. It's just
Name another musician.
Gucci Mane.
Oh, nice.
Okay, fair.
What else? There's
Dressing nice.
yeah,
Yeah. Or, well, just dressing. No matter how you dress. Yeah.
dressing.
We said being hungry.
Yeah,
Or just thinking about anyone else, like
you
women
always think about other people.
being heartfelt towards you guys. You guys get mad at me for that.
Yeah.
Wait.
It's never ulterior motives.
That's not true. That's
You're
what
right.
I'm saying.
You're always thinking
That's-
about other people.
That's point proven.
Right.
Waking up early to work out or sleeping in too late to not work.
You
Yep.
can't exist. Yeah, sleeping or waking, you're not allowed to do.
Yeah, exactly. Now you guys are seeing.
Yeah,
my
no,
point.
it's tough. It's tough being you. I apologize for getting on your case, Hank.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You're a great guy.
I'm sorry.
Cross
you
I have
do
to bear.
exist.
Is
Yeah.
that the expression?
Yeah.
Vacations.
Yeah, if you think you're Jesus, that's okay.
Not taking vacations.
Yeah, wanting to relax.
Right.
Illegal.
Yeah.
Illegal.
And then not relaxing. Illegal.
And then when you
When
guys
you're up
get me
our
riled
ass.
up,
Yeah, right.
Taking your medicine, not taking your medicine.
Right.
Either
Both
way.
suck for
Yeah.
us.
I hope people are understanding. Like this is what I have to deal with.
Truly.
Right. But also, it kind of works against you because we just described every part of your being is annoying.
In your mind.
But yeah, no.
But then you're like, I
think
want you
both
around more, which is my
I
entire
do.
point.
I love
so
having
it's like
you
how which one is it? Which
I
one
love
is it?
having you around.
I think both sides.
I
can
love
be
having
right
you
in this.
around, but I also
I
hate
think that
everything
Hank
you
is right when he says that he can't exist, and then we're right when we say that you're just annoying.
Right. And also, at the same
If I
time,
was really
saying,
annoying, you would think you just cut me out.
no, I love having you around just to see how you can't exist. I want to watch you exist to be like, no, stop doing that. Existing.
Yeah, Hank's great when it's directed at somebody else. When you focus all your energy on being somebody else's problem. I like that part.
Yeah. I love you, Hank.
I love you guys too.
Oh, thank you. You finally said it back. You didn't say it back the other day in the car
Wait,
when we were fighting about on the way to what were we on the way to? Oh, Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
We were on the way to Hard Knocks, and you were stalling me. All right, so we are going to talk about Hard Knocks with Peter Schrager. The other news, J.J. McCarthy has a knee injury.
Yeah, meniscus.
Terrible luck.
So I think we should go to our senior meniscus correspondent, Max, who has dealt with one or two of these in last years. Max, what can we expect? How soon can we expect him back on the court? Also,
On the court?
yeah, on the court. Also, is he going to learn how to fall onto his neck as opposed to landing on his feet?
He doesn't try to fall onto his neck. He should probably fall to brace impact if he were like coming down from a dunk.
But he's not dunking. He's playing football.
But I'm telling you what I know.
Okay.
You asked me for my expertise. This
Yes.
is my expertise.
Yeah.
Okay.
He could be back. He'll probably be back in like 2 months, and then it'll linger for a little bit longer, and then he'll have like a couple good games, and then if he has one bad game, you can just blame it on the meniscus.
Yep.
That's really the number one thing.
Or he's just tired.
Or he's just tired.
Oh, yeah. Is he going to get fat?
No, he's not fat. He'll be like really strong, really athletic, probably the best at his position.
Is he going to play like he's fat?
No. Other people will maybe say that he plays like he's fat, but he's not actually fat. He's actually really athletic. And if he didn't have his meniscus, he would be in better shape conditionally.
So he is fat. So he will be
conditioning
fat.
wise. No, not fat, but just not as good shape as he would have been
Okay.
if he didn't tear his meniscus. And it'll come back like within the next couple of years. Like there'll always be the worry of, the meniscus tore. It could tear again. It probably will tear again. And it's always going to be in the back of your head, and you always be like, what if he didn't tear the meniscus?
What could have been, yeah.
Right. Shout out JJ McCarthy for being a tough motherfucker because he tore his meniscus and then didn't report it until the next day.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey, should we check this out?" It sucks. It just sucks.
He did look really good in the preseason week 1.
Yeah, they have Sam Darnold, but
that's a denial injury. That's like I'm gonna sleep this off and I'll be
which
fine.
everyone does when the minute you get injured, especially if you're drunk and get injured and you're like, "I'm fine," and then you wake up the next day and you're like, "I can't walk."
That's what happened with my foot. Yeah. I just walked home that night, and then I woke up in the morning. Nanobubbles didn't do shit.
But it really does suck for Vikings fans because you're excited about your new quarterback, and then he should be fine long term, but it still is like if he misses 2 months of his rookie season, that's big.
Yeah, so I know that there are 2 different types of surgeries you can have on the meniscus. One is when you cut it out, and the other is when you repair it, right? You sew it back together.
Yeah.
And so if you cut it out, you can play on that after a couple weeks. If you sew it back together, it takes longer to heal, but then you're better off in the long term.
Right, you don't get bone on bone like D Wade had.
Yeah, bone on bone could be an issue. So Max, which one did I forget which player do you root for that had meniscus surgery?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
was it Embiid? What kind did he have?
Meniscus? I don't know.
But was it the long one or was it the cut it out and he's going to come right back?
I think he said both, honestly. I'm not.
Yeah, I hope he's okay. He looked great.
Yeah, I feel bad for Vikings fans.
It's a shitty thing. Like, you've been through it before with Teddy Bridgewater. I hope nobody threw up this time. But, yeah, I hope he's okay.
Was it the Derek Carr 7-year bump that we talked about? Because Sam Darnold is in his 7th year, which is crazy.
Yep.
That he's been in the NFL for 7 years. But Sam Darnold is now going to be the starter.
Yeah.
Also, just a reminder that doing a fantasy draft before the end of preseason is insane.
You got to do it Labor Day weekend.
It's insane. Because Jahmyr Gibbs got hurt too.
Yeah, I think it was a hamstring.
Is he okay, Huey?
He's going to be all right.
Okay.
He's going to be great.
Because I saw there was like some people who were concerned about that. But there's no worse feeling than being in preseason and getting that alert from Schefter and being like, wait, that's one of my guys?
Especially if you have a rookie quarterback that you're excited about. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. So sorry for Vikings fans. Okay. Before we do our Mount Rushmore, should we take a quick look at the top 25? And we also have some breaking news. Breaking news. Henry Lockwood. Now this is not this
First
is not,
of his name.
This has nothing to do with him existing, not existing, whatever. Henry Lockwood, after doing an extensive search where he just got drunk at bars and called it work last year, he has found his Big Ten team, which is
The Washington Huskies.
Oh wow! So you went to a Washington bar last year?
No.
Oh,
I didn't declare them my Big Ten team for the record, but I am high on them.
so
It's
why
a
are
natural
they?
fit, yeah.
Why are they your Big Ten team?
Because Belichick is a defensive coordinator. Bill Belichick. Steve Belichick. I knew that.
Yeah,
Wait. Did you actually think that Bill Belichick was going to be the defensive coordinator?
No.
but you said that earlier, and you didn't like. You're like Belichick's the defense coordinator. I was like, you have to say Steve.
Obviously Bill Belichick's not the defensive
I
coordinator.
understand, but you do have to say the first name in that.
Okay, Steve Belichick. Sorry, I didn't think that. I thought that was a given. Bill Belichick was on McAfee's show yesterday or Tuesday, Monday, whatever, and he was talking about how he's just been hanging out around the team, and as has Pete Carroll. So the Washington Huskies have maybe the greatest coaching staff. That's
They got
not
aura.
an official coaching staff,
Yeah.
but is a coaching staff
Shadow
of all
coaching
time.
staff.
Yeah.
You got the old dogs getting back together.
Now,
It does make sense for Hank to be a Huskies fan because they combine 2 of your great loves before games. They've got drinking and then they've got
Sailgating.
boats.
Yeah.
You got to go sailgating at some point.
so how
I
do
would
you
love to.
How do you like your Huskies in the Big Ten West?
Well, that's what I asked Big Cat before. I was like, are they in the cupcake division or the hard division? And I found out that it's one division.
Yeah, it's all one division.
That sucks for you guys.
Oh yeah, but it's expanded playoff.
My Big Ten knowledge was just like it's Ohio State, Michigan, and then Wisconsin comes out of the cupcake.
Yeah, the Legends and Leaders conferences.
So
So it's like the Big 20?
Yeah, they don't change the numbers.
Yeah, they haven't changed the numbers. 18.
18.
Yeah.
One conference?
Yeah.
How do they decide who gets to the Big Ten championship?
Top 2.
That's it.
Yeah. Could be Michigan, Ohio State playing back-to-back weekends.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's cool. That's the thing.
Well, you're just Wisconsin. I mean, you're
No,
screwed.
no.
Wisconsin's screwed.
Well, no, because it's expanded playoffs, so you don't have to make to the Big Ten championship to be in the playoff.
Got it.
The
Look at Washington's schedule.
situation of Ohio State and Michigan playing each other in back-to-back weekends would probably suck because both teams would then be in the playoff most likely, and then you'd have a Big Ten championship game that would mean, yes, home field advantage, but also it would kind of take a little away from the rivalry.
Wait, would there be a possibility that they played 3 weeks in a row?
I don't think they can play 3 weeks in a row because I don't think they would ever bracket them that way.
It would, but the possibility exists.
I don't think so because I think it's automatic. I think automatic qualifiers would get a bye.
They always get a bye?
Yeah, so I don't think it can exist.
But we could get 3 matchups between them in the same year.
Yes.
That's on the table.
Yes.
It's tough to beat a team 3 times.
Yes.
I mean, this is
could happen in the SEC as well.
Yeah. Now,
Like the years that Georgia and Alabama play each other, they could play again.
looking at the top 25, the thing that jumps out to me is things being.
Wait, that did happen. Wait, no, that didn't. Did that happen? Did Georgia and Alabama play each other 3 times when they played in the national title? I don't think so. I think that was just the second time.
Which year?
Because they did play
the 2
I like
year.
that memes. Because they could in the SEC championship. Yeah. And then,
Yeah.
They lost in the SEC championship and then won in the.
Yeah.
That was the Bryce Young year.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right.
But the thing that jumped out to me was things being just as they should be, which is Iowa at number 25.
Yeah,
They
Iowa
should just stay at 20.
and NC State at number 24.
Yeah. Those
That's
two
perfect.
teams, they fit there. Iowa, it doesn't matter what they do. They should just always be number 25.
Georgia 1, Ohio State 2, Oregon 3, Texas 4, Alabama 5. This is the year that if Ryan Day, he's got the squad. His defense is gonna be nasty. If Ryan Day doesn't do it, then the born on third stuff
Yeah.
is gonna start to really come true.
Big matchup, October 12th, Penn State, Ohio State.
Whoa!
Get ready for that.
Penn
And
State will
November
lose
9th.
that by 10.
Or no, is that that might be Oregon, Ohio State. I think that's the matchup on October 12th.
Yeah,
Oregon,
there's,
Ohio
I mean, there's some
in
great
Washington,
games.
Iowa.
And
Washington,
oh yeah,
Iowa.
Hank.
Yeah.
Sorry, we forgot Hank was in the room.
Yeah, Hank.
We got to talk about his Huskies.
Are there a lot of UW bars in Chicago?
I don't know, but if
Gotta
there's
be
not, we
one.
might have to start one. Maybe. Tuscaloosa
Hank,
North.
why don't you give us a quick win-loss for the Washington Huskies?
All right, so I just looked at their schedule. They have a big Pac-12 schedule, is what I'm calling it.
Okay.
Michigan's 9, but aren't they going to stink this year?
No, they'll still be good.
But they will not be. I will tell you this thing: they will not be in the top 10 by October 5th.
Okay.
Mark my
Calling
words.
your shot.
Full card. So that'll be a win.
You just skipped to the 5th week?
Well, yeah, I mean, Rutgers obviously a win. Northwestern obviously a win. Washington State rivalry game, maybe not.
Wait, where's Northwestern?
Washington.
Yeah.
You would have to go to that if it was here.
I would love to go to that. Also on a lake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally this year because they're playing on the practice facility.
Their stadiums.
That's.
yeah.
I mean,
It's
I
crazy.
probably will try and go to one of those games.
It's going to be a sick end zone cam.
I'm a sucker for water. Iowa win, Indiana win, USC could be tough. Penn State win, UCLA win, Oregon could be tough.
So undefeated in 2 could be toughs
At Penn State.
That doesn't matter.
if they do the whiteout.
I think it is.
Wow.
For Washington?
That's a
are
classic
you talking
Big Ten
shit?
rival.
Well, I'm just thinking.
Why are you
like,
talking
if
shit
you're
about
Penn
your own
State,
squad?
If you're a Penn State fan and you're
They
like,
did
why?
it for Minnesota last year.
Yeah, I guess that's.
Hank, if I were you, I would say that's just a true mark of how respected Washington is, where Penn State's using their whiteout on.
It is the
Point.
whiteout.
Good point.
Washington is the whiteout.
All right, maybe we'll go.
I would love to. This is great. We should do this content.
Yeah, content. All right, so what's that? 10-2, 8-2.
It was undefeated with 2 could be toughs.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We are going to do a full college football preview in the coming weeks. This is not it, so just don't. This is just our Washington Huskies preview.
This is us just looking at a list of teams and Hank talking about Utah love.
Hank's Washington Huskies that were Hank's Washington Huskies as of an hour ago.
Yeah, I'm a loyal guy.
He's smitten. He's smitten. It's going to wear off, Hank.
What?
Your love of the Huskies.
What happens
Not
when
my
they,
love of the Belichicks.
What happens
That
when
will
they
never-
play a
that
late
will
night
never go
game
away.
and Hanky's got some drinky?
I'll just have to have some more drinking.
Playing
Yeah.
at 9:30.
I'm not a Saturday drinky guy.
Big after
Oh,
dark.
you aren't.
Not during the football season.
Okay.
That's not true.
We did a bar crawl last year to look for your Big Ten team.
Yeah, you literally did
That was day drinking.
And that was work. That was also work, Max.
That was work. Sponsored. Shout out Coors Light. I had to do that. I had no choice.
All right. Well, I'm excited to watch Hank. I'll tell you what. The Huskies have great colors and great gear.
They
You
do.
got that to look for.
Cool fans, too.
Yep.
Great coaches.
Spencer Hawes.
Great stadium.
Yeah, me and Spencer.
You're
I'm
buying this. You're doing what every econ, because you taught us this with your econ class. Buy high, sell low,
Yep.
because they just went to the national championship.
They've never been as good as they are. Yeah. He's noticing the trend in the market. Hank's going to the moon. That's your problem, Big Cat. You're selling before we're on the moon.
You couldn't be
Their mascot is awesome, by
the
the way.
worst time.
Dubs.
You just missed an insane season.
Hank, get to know Dubs, the mascot. He rocks.
Yeah.
He's a good boy.
Also, the camera angle at the Husky Stadium's very high. Weirdly high.
Wash up.
We
Husk
should make
up.
Penn State Washington a rivalry.
Yeah.
Make a trophy, Hank.
Yep.
That should be.
You got to make a trophy.
I'm down.
Okay. We'll make a trophy.
I like that, though. Wash up.
Wash up. Do we have anything else before we do? We're gonna do our Mount Rushmore, then we're gonna do Hot Seat Cool Tyrone and get to our interviews. Do we have anything else before we get to our Mount Rushmore? I think we'll cover it in Hot Seat Cool Tyrone. Let's do our Mount Rushmore. It is brought to you by our friends at Morgan & Morgan. You got to check out Morgan & Morgan if you've been injured. We all know that 2024 has been wild so far, so let's talk about something important. If you get injured by a person, place, or thing, you deserve to get paid. Life can be crazy sometime, and one person's negligence can result in another's settlement. If you're in an accident, not calling a lawyer means you could be leaving money on the table. When you're seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. They have over 100 offices nationwide and more than 1,000 lawyers. With over $20 billion recovered for over 500,000 clients, Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you full and fair compensation. Submitting an injury claim with Morgan & Morgan is so easy. Playing basketball without getting injured is hard. Submitting an injury claim with Morgan & Morgan is easy. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/PMT or dial #law #529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/PMT or #law #529 from your cell phone. This is a paid advertisement. Okay. Mount Rushmore of soft things. Open-ended.
I love it.
Shout out. I think I screenshotted it. Oh, no, I bookmarked it. Do you guys use bookmarks?
I do sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, bookmarks are good.
We've done this. We've had this conversation.
What do you mean?
Sydney Sweeney.
Oh, yeah.
We don't, but then I did after that. I forget I did some insult ones towards PFT.
Oh, yeah. Hank and I had a bookmark off.
Matt, AWL Matt. Thank you very much for submitting this one. He submitted some good ones, open-ended ones. So the scores as of right now, after Hank didn't cheat, he went back to losing. Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm. Very interesting.
Max has 57 points. I have 47. Hank has 38. PFT has 38.
We got a tie.
Also, Max is talking about possibly clinching. What's your magic number, Max?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You said before that you need me to win this because you would clinch.
I didn't say that.
You said that verbatim. So what is your magic number? What are you looking at, Hank?
I'm looking at my bookmarks. I've never even seen this movie.
Hank and I had a bookmark off.
It's like it's a quote tweet. It says, "Show the greatest I'm about to die moment in cinema. All start." I bookmarked a movie reply. I've never seen this movie, so that was accidental.
Hank tweeted ha 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 when they announced that Dan Quinn was going to be the coach of the Commanders.
Oh.
I bookmarked it, and then Hank bookmarked my bookmark and said, "Your bookmark has now been bookmarked." Then I bookmarked that, and then Hank said, "Triple bookmark, no bookmark backs."
Oh.
And then I
bookmarked one of yours, Big Cat.
What
somebody
did you bookmark?
Wait, what did you say, PFT?
I was going to say somebody did an AI thick Miley Cyrus.
Oh, I know which
and
one you
bookmarked
bookmarked.
that.
Because you retweeted it on draft night.
No, this was
Oh.
1/2/24. It says, if the Bears don't at least get to the NFC Championship game next season, you do apologize to Hank. And you said, no, I will apologize if they miss the playoffs without any major injuries. Bookmark it.
So you have to apologize to me
No, you have to apologize to me
if they miss the playoffs.
without any major injuries.
Major injuries. Okay. But then you should have to apologize to me if they make the playoffs.
Okay. I'm the Bear. I'm Bears over 8.5 wins.
Okay. All right. So Mount Rushmore of soft things. Who goes first? This is a big one for the boys in the bottom. We have 8 left.
Yeah, Hank and I are
8 Mount
neck and neck
Rushmores
heat
left.
right now.
Who goes first?
Plenty of time.
Who's up
you're
first?
pointing. You're pointing.
I think he's
you're
pointing at
pointing
me.
in between me and PFT.
I think it's
PFT.
me.
I go last. I know that.
Okay, so I go first, Big Cat, Hank,
Second, okay.
then Max. Okay, Mount Rushmore soft things. 1-1. I don't think this is a surprise. I'm going boobs.
Correct. Correct.
Boobs
1-1.
is the correct 1-1 pick.
Yes.
Boobs are back now. Sydney Sweeney brought boobs back. For a while, boobs were out. Now boobs are officially back, and I'm glad that they are.
Yes.
Very soft
Good one.
and supple.
1-1.
Max hates boobs, by the way.
Boobs. Good pick. All right. Now I got to think. That was a lucky first
I'm very thankful I got to go first. Yeah.
pick, yeah. I was going to say Hank after a loss, but I'm not going to do that. He's got his headphones off.
Just Hank. Just Hank in general.
Okay, I'll go my 1-1. Well, my 1-1 was boobs. A dog's ears.
only one 1-1.
A dog's ears.
Dog's ears.
Super soft.
Okay. Yeah.
Get a dog's ears. Super, super soft.
They're like velvety.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice.
Love petting a dog's ears.
Love a good dog's ear.
I mean, this really doesn't even matter because there's no way PFT loses this draft getting boobs 1-1.
No, there's a way. I'm not very good at Mount Rushmores.
Ice cream.
Okay.
You were
That's a good
asking
one.
as a question?
Is there any particular type of ice cream?
For the graphics, it's just ice cream.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Ice cream.
Was that a question?
No, I'm just. That's my answer.
Ice cream's not that soft. Okay, it's your answer.
Soft serve.
That's what the correct answer should have been.
Soft serve is what you
Soft
would
serve
want
ice cream.
on the graphic.
Yeah, but he said
For sure,
he
you
said
would prefer ice cream.
nice-
he said I want ice cream. on
But you
the
would
graphic."
want soft serve on the graphic,
nice
but you
super
said
rocky
you want
road.
ice cream.
It doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
PFT, like I'm going up against PFT.
What just happened where you
There's
got
also
your computer?
I don't
My phone's about to
understand
die.
why
What?
you say he wins with boobs. He wins with butt cheeks was still on the board.
Yeah, butt cheeks is there.
Butt cheeks is my
Yeah,
pick.
but hard butt, like a firm butt.
Yeah, like
cheek.
my butt cheeks aren't soft.
No, but
Come grab my butt cheeks. You'll get some bone.
okay. Well, I'm taking butt cheeks.
Not all butts are soft. Yeah.
well,
That's
not.
fair.
I mean, not all boobs. Fake boobs aren't soft.
I didn't say fake boobs.
I know.
I said boobs,
Correct. Boobs.
Yeah, fake boobs are not.
not
Yeah.
soft.
Yeah,
I'm maybe the world's worst person at identifying fake boobs too.
I'm worse.
I think every boob is real.
Yeah.
And then my next pick is going to be lineman with long sleeves.
Okay.
Pick.
Good pick.
Good pick.
Is it me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, I always get so confused with this draft order.
Who's that?
That was me. That's me being confused.
Your voice.
I
Wait, was that you doing an impression of yourself?
will go with cotton candy.
Okay.
Nice.
Good pick.
Nice.
Literally air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So soft, it's air.
Is air soft?
All right, who's next?
Okay, my next pick, I'm going to go with going to sleep early on a bachelor party.
Yeah.
Big time soft move.
Yeah. I had
Especially when everyone's there together, whooping
It's
it
soft.
up.
It's soft things though. That's the Mount Rushmore, not soft.
Soft things.
Thanks,
Well, it's
yeah.
a soft thing.
I had taking a night off.
Yeah, soft things.
yeah.
It's a soft thing. It's a soft thing to do.
Got
Is
it.
it not a soft thing to do?
Yep. It is. It is.
It's a soft. If you went to sleep at 9:00 on the first night of a bachelor party, I'd be like, that's a soft thing to do, bro.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go. I get two, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I get lost in draft sometimes. I forget what I am. That was me doing an impression of Hank.
That's
Doing an
confusing,
impression
yeah.
of Hank.
Impression of Big Cat.
Okay,
What?
yeah, it was an impression of you.
Me?
Hank was doing an impression of you earlier, and then
Oh.
was being sarcastic when he said he was doing an impression of himself.
Got it.
Yeah.
What was the impression of me?
Is it my turn?
Oh, okay. Got it.
All right, I'm gonna go with.
Sorry, I get lost.
I know. Me too.
No, I can't exist.
we have an impression off.
I can't even exist.
It's pretty good.
Sorry to the listeners for that one.
That was Hank. He just yawned.
I'm gonna go with calling fouls and pickup.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. I mean, there's some times when you have to call a foul.
Occasionally, but you know the type of foul I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then toilet paper. Soft.
All right. I'll go with running out the clock in a video game when you're playing head-to-head with someone.
Mm-hmm.
Like kneeling, running out the clock. That is a soft move.
Yep.
Play to win the game. Play to have fun.
Yep.
Like just 3 minutes left and you just start running the ball and kneeling.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks. Soft. What was the fuck?
Hank's just realizing that these picks are better than what he's got.
No, I was going to say
Next one is a cotton t-shirt.
I had punting and Madden was my only like non.
But wait, Hank, I thought you said that it was supposed to be soft things.
I'm gonna go with puppies.
Okay.
Okay. I had puppies.
I did too.
But I
it's
took,
a great pick.
I took puppies off because he said dog's ears.
Yeah, but it's a
Yeah,
great
that's
pick.
way different.
Way
Okay,
different.
it's a good pick.
Way different.
Good job.
I'm going to go with Ben Simmons.
Good pick.
Good pick.
Now this next one, I'll go soft pretzel.
Ooh.
Okay.
Good one. But is it soft?
It's got that
literally a soft
crunchy
pretzel.
salt on there. It's got a little crust on it. I do love a good soft
I
pretzel.
love a
pretzels
soft
are
pretzel,
awesome.
but I wouldn't say that's
always
like
the
a
move.
soft thing.
What? I want you to. Can you name what I just said?
Soft pretzel.
And I think it's literally
means,
in the name.
That means that it's softer than a normal pretzel.
Kind of like yellow cheddar cheese.
I'll wait for after.
What? Is there not yellow cheddar cheese? Yeah, there is. What? Say it.
I don't want to give. I'm done. I don't want to give anyone.
Say it, pussy.
Soft cheese is a thing. I was going to say soft cheese. I was
color?
going between
What
soft.
color?
Brie is a soft cheese. I was just going to
true.
say soft cheese.
Okay. Hank?
You got to speak over here, Henry.
He's not. He's just thinking. He's. I don't know what he's doing. I have a pick you wouldn't thought of. You haven't thought of, and I'm still debating whether it. I think it will look bad on a graphic, but it's also the softest thing in the world.
Wearing
He doesn't know where the sentence is going.
matching outfits with your significant other.
Oh, nice.
You think that's soft?
Yeah.
I kind of like it when they do that in airports, though. It's like we're a team.
No.
Okay. I have a pick. I think it's gonna ruin my draft, but it's also like
To a family party.
I wasn't finished. I think it's gonna ruin my. I think it's gonna
It
ruin.
sounds very personal.
I think it's gonna ruin
No,
my
it's not.
draft.
I was trying to get creative.
That was just like you were just coming up on the fly.
Yeah, there's free ball.
Yeah. All right, my last pick. It is the softest thing in the entire world, but I'm afraid that I'm gonna get criticized by the AWLs. But that's fine. I'm gonna do it because I have to stay true to myself. No pander picks like Max. I'm surprised he didn't do meatball. A newborn skin is literally the softest thing in the world.
How's that going to look on the graphic?
Probably not good, but I don't care because I have to stay true to myself.
Yeah.
If you've ever touched a newborn skin, it's fucking insane. It's like
Did you want to say baby's bottom, but that
no, because a newborn skin, like their hands, their everything, their head, everything is like the softest thing you've ever felt.
I had baby hair on my list.
Yeah,
Baby hair is
that's
very
pretty
soft.
soft.
Isn't that a saying? Baby soft,
Smooth.
Smooth is the
smooth.
best
Okay.
You do have that. You have asses.
Yep.
Every ass.
Not
Yeah,
no
I
baby ass.
I probably fucked myself there, but
All right, so you have butt cheeks, parentheses, not baby ass.
yeah,
Butt cheeks above the age of 18.
yeah. I probably fucked myself there, but if the parent listeners of this show come through for me, because that it is a fact, it's the softest thing in the world.
I mean, you're good. It doesn't matter.
Why?
It's a 2-horse race.
Well, no, if
you
I keep
got
losing-
boobs with 1-1, there's nothing you can do.
You just took wearing matching outfits with your significant other to a family function.
So that's soft.
Yeah.
You don't think you have any part in this at all?
I still can't believe you didn't say soft serve. It was right there. Soft serve.
I put it on
was
a,
Took the
right
hardest
there.
of all the ice cream.
I put it on a cone for you, Hank. I said,
Yeah.
Is there any particular
It's-
type?
Whatever. I'm ready to play NCAA.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we
Well,
don't
it might
know.
not be
we don't
that.
know if
There's
it's
a
that.
hat.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. All right, PFT, your last pick.
Okay. My last pick. I'm gonna run the football. I'm gonna say pillows. No, we took pillows.
I had it on there.
Pillows is like the softest thing in the world.
I like a hard pillow. I like one hard pillow, one soft pillow.
Same.
Okay. What got left off?
Billy Football's hands.
Yes.
Yeah, soft hands.
That's a good pick. Inside of a sweatshirt.
Marshmallows.
Like a new sweatshirt.
Marshmallows is good.
Jello.
Marshmallows is
I
great.
should've said
Why did
soft
you go
cheese.
marshmallow?
Mashed potato.
I should.
Mashed
I'm
potatoes,
upset I didn't say
A
soft.
velour jumpsuit.
I had velour.
Yeah. Your dick after you've been drinking.
Jellyfish.
Butter.
I almost went Ben Simmons, Carson
No,
Wentz
because
back
butter,
to back.
there's nothing worse. Like, I feel like probably over half the time
I haven't thought about
in
that
a restaurant
name
they
in years.
give you
Wait, what did he say?
rolls with hard butter.
Me?
Yeah, what did you say?
I said
Carson
I almost
Wentz.
took
Carson
Ben
Wentz.
Simmons, Carson Wentz
Should've.
back to back.
Butter. Yeah, no, I agree. The hard butter is the worst. I had going home before midnight in college,
Yeah.
playing beer pong with water and a side beer.
Yep.
I think that happened after when I was in college, but I've seen people do that, and that's the softest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Throwing flags on taunting.
Yeah.
The NFL taunting rules.
Blocking people on Twitter during an argument. I
Yeah.
understand people block people on Twitter, but like when someone will get in an argument and then just block the person when like they're about to reply, that's the softest thing in the world.
Blocking people on Twitter probably should have been taken. That would have
Yeah.
looked really
Yeah.
good on the thing.
Yeah.
Apologizing.
Yep.
Kind of soft.
Never.
I never apologize.
Kickers when they have to make a tackle.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Kneeling in the first half with timeouts in your pocket. I think that's soft.
McVay.
45 seconds left.
McVay.
Fucking run a play.
McVay.
Hitting a guy after you gave up a home run to him.
Did he pimp the home run?
It's soft though.
Unwritten rules.
Don't strike him out next
respect
time.
the rules.
Strike him out. Not betting on the Super Bowl. Soft.
Yeah.
Or like not having an opinion on the Super Bowl. Soft.
Telling on someone.
Yeah.
Getting
Not-
mad about Hard Knocks.
Yeah, I said getting mad about not talking on the podcast after you lose a game, even though your teams have won more championships than everyone else.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you get one little loss.
Talking
you
on the
just-
podcast.
And then you just shut up.
And then
and you
also
literally
being
only
soft.
talk when your team wins, which they do a lot.
Yeah.
You still can't. Not filling out a March Madness bracket.
That is soft.
Emailing your professor after emailing a random person's professor after they make fun of you online.
Yeah, and asking them if they'll kick you out of class because you made a joke about branding.
Actually, though, Ravel also has like the hardest move when he put JFK's headshot in fucking 8K at like 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
Hank, do you have
Send
any
a
honorable
message.
mentions, by the way?
Yeah. Hank, what are your honorable
This is
mentions?
just-
Hank went. He tapped out on his draft.
What the fuck are you talking about?
What do you got?
I gave them all. Marshmallows, Jello,
Oh, okay,
mashed
those are
potatoes, velour, jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
Are you,
My
Max,
bad.
you don't fucking listen. dude.
Huey, do you have the best of the rest?
Cake.
Oh,
Cake?
Well, yeah, that was the only thing I was
That
thinking.
was Max.
soft serve cake or ice cream?
Yeah, Max took asses already.
Any cake. All cake is soft cake.
Do you have any honorable mentions, Max?
Oh, bunny rabbit.
I was
Rabbits.
ripping them.
Shit.
Oh, sorry.
Bunny rabbit is pretty good.
I said soft cheese. I said kickers when they have to make a tackle. You would have loved that pick.
Janikowski.
Do you have any honorable mentions, Big Cat?
Yeah, I do. A
What
bunch.
about you?
I already gave him.
Getting mad at your co-hosts because you're so annoying and they're just so annoyed with you existing.
Hank.
That
That could have been a good pick.
He just Hank.
missing breakfast and then making everybody's life around you hell.
Complaining about
I
Mount
should've- I
Rushmore
should've picked Hank.
every
You should've
season.
said Hank.
Every Mount Rushmore season, and then cheating on the rules that you gave out.
Someone tweeted at me. I don't know if it's true or not. They said that you have been on record saying your wife helped you with picks before. Fact or
Which
fiction?
one was it?
Which
there was
wife?
one.
So
Okay,
You
but
said that you got in trouble
That's
for-
also in
for
the
picks.
Yeah, I've gotten in trouble for picks. Also, that's in the family. That you can't put us in jail, right?
I don't know. I don't
You
know
went
how that
outside the
works.
family.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't. You can't. Can you not? If your significant other has to take the stand against you, isn't there the privilege?
Yeah.
So thrown out.
Well, wait, Adriana went through that when she tried to go to that lawyer.
They weren't married.
They weren't married yet. She was
Yeah.
thinking about getting married so she wouldn't have to testify. But
And then Silvio killed her.
you're,
No,
remember that? He drove her out to that exit and she didn't know what was going to happen.
the example that I said when I said I did talk to people
And
about
she-
picks was I was getting chirped by someone on Saturday for my sandwich draft, and I was like, "Shut up, dude!"
Wait, in real life?
Yes, and I
Wait,
was like,
like at a party?
"Yes."
they were
It was someone I
chirping you
it was someone I know, but they're like, "Oh, your fucking sandwich draft, dude, sucked." And I was like, "All right, then, fucking genius. Like, let's hear some steroid users." And they go, Barry Bonds, Lance Armstrong. Like, they gave me nothing,
Man in the arena.
and I came in dead last.
It's man in the arena.
And that's what I said.
Yeah, that's fair. But you also, the difference is she has maybe helped me with a pick or two. You said that Liam gave you all your picks for the pizza draft.
Well, that was also in that was a tainted era when you guys were.
No,
No, it was
no,
it was
no, no,
pre-
no, no,
it was pre-tape.
Oh, it was pre.
It was pre-tape.
Billy
Yeah.
You
all right,
tainted
whatever,
it
whatever.
before. That was our point for this whole discussion on Monday. Your big claim about Mount Rushmore season.
All right,
We
spoiler
ruined
alert.
Mount
I
Rushmore.
suck at Mount Rushmore, and I just complain to try and mask it.
I've also proven the taint wrong this year.
That was a hard move
Yeah.
by you, admitting that.
Yeah, I'm
Wait,
bad.
did
I'm
you just
bad.
apologize?
No, he just admitted that everything. He copped.
I try and
everything.
muddy the water.
I actually always respect that in a TV show or a movie where the guy that's on the stand gets so pissed off at the like prosecutor that they just admit to massive crime.
that happened in the young thug trial.
Yeah?
the guy said he's like, yeah, we went up and did that shit, like talking about a shooting, and then was like, well, you told me nothing I could say would get used against me in court, right?
No, that was big of Hank. He literally just admitted to it all.
Yeah, it's hard.
He just said he sent it all out.
Hard Hank.
That was a hard move by you.
I just got a call back from Rossini. Let's see what she has to say to memes.
Hello.
Is this Diana Rossini?
Yes, this is Diana Rossini. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Diana, this is part of my take. Earlier today, memes said that
she's on the air.
that you're on the air. You're live to tape. Earlier today, memes said that you were a system Florio at this point for your reporting on Hassan Reddick. Do you have any comment to him?
I think that Memes needs to understand that Mike Florio, Diana Rossini, Tom Pelissero, Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport do not make the decisions for the New York Jets. The New York Jets make the decisions for the New York Jets. So while he does not like the messenger of the news, it's not our fault. So I would say sorry, but I'm not really sorry.
Okay, I think that's fair. Memes, do you have any retort?
Nope.
All right, he doesn't have retort. You
Yeah,
just put
you
him in a
got
body bag.
bodied him.
Good job, Diana.
All right, maybe he should follow me on Twitter and I can give him more Jets news.
Oh wow, so you don't even follow her on Twitter and you're complaining about her tweets.
Huh?
pop
That's
up
soft.
on the
That's
timeline.
soft.
Wow, that
That
is
is
soft.
soft.
That's real soft.
Shut up.
He's soft. Oh yeah, we talked about the Italian angle
Yes,
earlier.
sir.
I think he's got some self-loathing.
Yeah, something's wrong. It's basically if your name ends in a vowel, Memes doesn't like you. So I'm never going to forget this.
That's true. Okay, well, thank you, Dinah.
Okay. Hi, Max. Bye.
Bye.
That was soft by memes, right,
Yeah.
Hank? Very soft. Insanely soft memes. All right, let's do hot seat cool turn. That was a great Mount Rushmore, guys. More open-ended ones if anyone wants to tweet them at us. Those are the fun ones.
Yep.
Because Hank just always goes with the most literal definition of it.
Well, no, he gets mad at us for exploring the other options
Yeah.
when he also has those other options.
He
I told you, I'm
He's
bad.
muddying
Like
the waters.
Yeah.
a lot of my
muddies the
anger is
waters.
just directed at myself through you guys.
Hank, do you want me to help you with Mount Rushmore?
I mean, again, like the sanctity of this whole contest has been
We're tied in last place, Hank.
not anymore.
You're not out
had
of it.
boobs.
Boobs,
Anyway,
you had
yeah,
boobs.
like
I
good
did have
boobs.
boobs.
That was,
Yeah,
that
boobs
was-
are great.
That's pretty nice. Okay.
Convenient,
Yeah, very convenient. Although I'm the one who came up with it, so not convenient.
but you knew the order.
No, I didn't.
You're also doesn't. You're.
I also don't know the order
you're,
anytime.
You're in the clear.
I don't know the order anytime.
You just made fun of Big Cat for never knowing the order.
Yeah, you said I don't know the order.
Muddy in the water.
Oh, you don't know how the order of like who's picking when. Oh, got it. All right, yeah.
So how would I rig it if I don't know the order day to day?
Maybe you're playing the long game.
Kaiser Soze of the order? They never caught on for me to finish second place?
Hank just lives life as devil's advocate.
That is unfortunately.
I've got
true.
like this mastermind, and I'm somehow my mastermind has me 11 points down from max,
It doesn't, but it does. You just can't come in last.
which I could still.
No.
Okay, let's do.
You
hot
might
seat.
win, Hank. Sometimes you think that you're going to lose and you end up winning.
You can't beat boobs.
It's true. It's a fact.
Boobs are a great
That
pick,
on a
yeah.
quote card. Okay. Hot Seat Cool Throne brought to you by our friends at Game Time. Did you know that you can get tickets to the Cubs Blue Jays game this weekend for $35? That's right, with Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You shouldn't have to worry when you buy tickets to your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets to all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. They have flash deals for sudden discounts, zone deals for when you're feeling flexible, and their lowest price guarantee means that if you can find the same seats for less anywhere else, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Game Time is the best place for last-minute seats with up to 60% off your favorite events. What are you waiting for? I'm going to go buy those Cubs tickets now. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Hot Seat Cool Throne is brought to you by our friends at Coors Light. It is the best beer out there. Half the fun of watching college football is predicting which rivals will win every week. Coors Light teamed up with DraftKings for college football pick'em, where you pick winners for a chance to win big. When the game is on the line, it's time to choose chill and then choose an ice-cold Coors Light. When you're looking to keep it chill, there's only one beer to choose. Coors Light. The mountains on the bottles and cans even turn blue when your beer is cold. Coors Light is mountain cold refreshment. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. Make your heated picks with Coors Light and DraftKings. Choose chill, then enjoy a refreshing Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. CoorsLight.com/take. Hank, Hot Seat Cool Throne.
My hot seat is probably gonna mess his pronunciation out. Hapoel Tel Aviv basketball team.
Okay.
Our coworker, they just signed Pat Bev, big contract signing, off season for them. He was on his own podcast, Pat Bev Show, Barstool Sports,
With Roan.
with Roan. Apologies, and he said, "If a bomb goes off, I'm gone." When talking about playing in Tel Aviv, so like they gotta
check the forecast.
they gotta worry about their whole country's bullshit if they want to keep Pat Bev.
I feel like
Maybe
that.
he makes peace happen.
I feel like that's not an unreasonable position to take, though.
No, it's not. And maybe Israel's like, well, we want this team to do well.
He also said most of our Euro Cup games are in Bulgaria, so
Oh,
Yeah, they should sign Zion.
wait.
That would be a good fit.
Is he in where are the regular season games?
I don't know.
Okay.
If a bomb goes off, I'm gone. Well, he could say that about any team, though. Like if a bomb went off at a Bucks game, he's probably gone too, right?
Like in Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like he's out.
Yeah. He might stay.
He might stay.
Yeah.
He's got that dog.
Okay. Good
And
hot seat.
My cool throat's Tom Brady.
No, why?
He's joining YouTube.
He's joining YouTube.
What?
He made a YouTube channel. He's gonna start posting vlogs. He's about
Oh.
to take over.
He's joining. Okay. I thought he was like on like the board of directors.
I mean, he probably will be soon enough.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Raider Tom Brady?
Raider owner Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Speaking of videos, disc golf video with Jimmy Tatro is out now.
Yes.
I may have taken mushrooms before.
I mean, if Tom Brady starts making disc golf videos, we're in trouble.
We're screwed.
Is he going to do the Bryson thing?
Just
become
Breaking
crushing
50
YouTube.
on,
Yeah,
on
yeah.
golf, disc golf?
Content creator, breaking 50, but years old, playing in the NFL
Oh.
for the Raiders.
Be a great series.
All right, PFT, your hot seat cool throne.
My hot seat is the Big Justice family. So, I just found out who this family was yesterday.
Costco guys.
Costco
is
guys,
what they're more known
Yeah,
for.
they're the Costco.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've seen them, but I've opted out of them. And I'm sure that
They're
you guys
great.
have been through that over the
Yeah, yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Where you see something that pops up online, a trend, and you're like, I'm going to opt out of it. I learned about them.
You
I don't wanna
fucked up.
I don't want to be a hater, but
you-
I can't stand them.
You fucked up. Well, you can hate them, but the Rizzler's electric.
Yeah.
Which one's the Rizzler?
The little guy.
Okay, so apparently they're on the hot seat because I'm hearing that the dad had this arranged. He's been trying to go viral for years and years and years.
Yeah, he
Right?
has.
Is that am I
Yeah, which
simply
is-
getting it right?
Pretty much every person who ends up going viral probably like was trying.
Is that
Long time.
the only problem that people have with
There's rumors that maybe there's something else. I hope not. I just saw someone being like, "We're gonna cancel Big Justice." Please don't leave Big Justice alone.
So they do the
They're the
boom,
Costco guys.
they do the boom or doom scale, right?
Yeah, no, I mean it's terrible internet, but I like it.
What have they done doom? Do they ever do doom or is it always boom?
Yeah, their cousin made a pizza with like a bunch of like gross shit on it, and they doomed it.
They doomed that one?
Yeah.
I just found out who they are, so I'm like experiencing them for the first time.
Just
They're
go to the
fascinating.
Rizzler. Just go to the Rizzler.
They're fascinating to
The
me.
Rizzler's electric.
How many booms? What's the scale?
It's just a boom, and then they can sometimes double boom.
But I thought it was more. I thought it could be like 3, 4, 5, 6 booms.
Well,
They just
sometimes
add
they do the
booms.
bu-
Yeah,
and like
or the
they'll
boom,
they'll
boom,
add a bunch
boom.
of buzz before.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like the ball scale.
Boom.
No, it's really just boom or doom.
Okay, just one boom or one.
It's binary.
Hank doesn't like them.
No, he's very upset.
Sometimes
Costco guys can't exist.
Sometimes they'll go to a place and they'll like pick between two items.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to boom or doom one of the items, but then they both kind of end up booming both of them.
And they'll sometimes have the Sam Clubs guys on who are the, Indian father and son.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
See,
Hank,
it's like
This-
Crips and
I'm
the
starting
Bloods
to-
getting together.
I'm starting to think that Hank has a little anti-Italian discrimination with him.
No, I mean, listen. Anyone can do their thing. I'm happy that they're popular. I'm usually don't share my hater opinions.
Would you like it more if they were on a golf course doing golf videos?
It's not really my issue. Is not with them. I do think it's like an internet hive mind personality where people are like, oh, these guys are electric. They're so funny. Like they're not.
well, it's
Like
Well,
people
it's-
see other
there-
people
have
saying
you-
they like them, and
can I-
then they.
can I
That's like it's
throw
like a
something out
hive
there?
mind brain rot. Like oh,
Can I-
this is the flavor of the month. We love these
Let me
guys.
just throw something out there.
No, you don't.
So there's this thing called irony.
I don't. But no, I think that there's that section of the world where people understand irony, and then there's just like the sheep that are like, oh yeah, like we fucking love Big Justice.
I think it's like a lot of things on the internet where it might be fun to watch, but then when you find yourself explaining what it is, you
Like listening
actually
to you guys just
you
explain
actually-
it made me want to.
you start to like it less when you explain what it
hater.
is because
Yeah,
you
no, I
realize
know.
it. Yeah.
Dude, don't do that to the Rizzler.
I like the Rizzler, I guess.
The Rizzler did nothing wrong.
No, he didn't. No,
It's 400-foot bomb.
no, the Rizzler's funny, and what's Little Justice? I have no issue with Little Justice.
The Rizzler
AJ.
does sick bike tricks.
Yeah, he does.
The
He's
bike
got-
tri- have
he's
you
got
seen the bike trick?
No,
almost
we
five
were talking
bike
about the
tricks.
boom guys.
He said
Or
that he
they're
did a
the same
video
people,
where
right?
he said he was going to do 5 bike tricks, and then he came back, he did 1, and he was like, I kind of ran out of time.
No, the other ones are too dangerous.
Yeah,
the other
too
ones are too dangerous. Which practicing,
Yeah.
showing safety is good on the internet.
Yeah.
It is. That's a good point,
Yeah.
Max.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I didn't know that this was going to have such a spirited conversation around it.
Well, Hank's a hater.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Not publicly, except for this.
And the Colts kid?
Yeah, I was just about
The
to say you
Colts
hate
kid.
you hate
Seth with Flo.
Yeah.
That was a raw reaction. It was bad.
I didn't realize that the chorus to that it's the same as "Our God is an awesome God."
Yeah. I love
So-
Seth with Flo.
He stole that from church.
And Seth with Flo saw it, and everyone commented. He was like, thanks to Pardon My Take for shouting me out. And all the comments were like, Hank's such a hater. We'll get him.
Yeah. I don't want to be a hater. This is just my I see
what,
this
Hank?
shit and I don't like it.
I'm going to give you.
What do you want me to say?
I'm going to give your attitude today a doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Double doom.
I'll try.
Doom.
I'll try and watch some more. I'll come around. I liked it. They did the Los Polos.
The problem is
That-
the only
there's
thing
a
you
streamer
like
and his
is
dad-
golf videos.
and his dad-
Your only idea is mini golf.
No, there's that's a stolen joke.
Yeah, well, it's a good joke because it's true.
Yeah, it was a good joke. You didn't make it. This Los Polos is a streamer.
gets a
It's funny.
boom.
Him and his dad. His dad said the same thing. He's like, "Who the fuck are these?" Like another Italian kid. He's like, "Who the fuck are these guys?" Started talking shit, and then everyone was like, "The Rizzler's gonna get you. The Rizzler's gonna get you." Then they all did a stream together. That was funny. That was funny.
They remade
internet.
the Bronx
Again,
Tale. It's like
yeah.
5 minutes long.
Again, I think the more you explain what
But
it
yes,
is, the less I like it.
yes,
Yeah.
I just want to watch the videos and smile.
Yeah,
it's
not
yeah,
me,
it's
but that's fine.
it's the internet. It's like supposed to be.
Do you? Everyone do
Brain
you?
dead
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not like
content.
I'm not saying because I think one way you should.
But yes, he's been trying to go viral for a very long time. He was a former independent wrestler.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so he's
about that-
got this in him.
He's about that content.
Yeah, like
life.
the people who found his early videos like don't realize he was also a wrestler going on the independent circuit.
Yeah.
You tell me an independent circuit wrestler wants to make money going viral online? No duh.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you're an inventor, it takes you a few dud
Correct.
inventions until you get something awesome.
People laughed at the at Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs
They
did it.
fired him from Apple.
Got fired, then he took a loan, and then he came back and crushed him.
Yeah.
Hank would have been such a Steve Jobs hater.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Biggest because he doesn't golf. That's the problem. Hank's only YouTube videos are golf. If I went to your algorithm right now,
There's one other thing.
boobs. What? Who?
Billy Strings.
Oh yeah, hit the line, Billy Strings. Imagine if Billy Strings did a
golf video?
Good.
Be great.
Yeah, Billy Strings, come on the show. Do a video with us.
Okay, your cool throne.
My cool throne is chess controversies. Have you guys heard of the chess controversy?
Is another butt plug?
No, it's different. It's much more sinister than the butt plug. There's a Russian grandmaster, I think she is. She was competing in a tournament against her opponent who's from Dagestan. And before the tournament, they caught her on camera. She snuck into the room, went up to the board that they were about to play, and smeared something on her opponent's pieces and on her side of the board. And then her opponent got deathly sick,
Ooh.
almost died.
Ooh.
So they went back, they reviewed the footage. It turns out that she sprayed mercury onto her side of the chessboard and almost killed her opponent.
Holy shit.
So there's no butt plug stuff in chess now. Now
Hardcore.
They're actually trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
It's almost like Belichick stuff.
That's very hardcore.
Belichick mate.
Okay, my hot seat. This happened late Sunday after we recorded, but Matt Kuchar, what a dickhead, what a douchebag, the worst.
What'd he do?
Hank's gonna defend him. Nice. Okay, I like this. This is spicy. The Wyndham Championship. They had bad weather Thursday and Friday. They had to fit in a bunch of rounds on Saturday and Sunday. The grounds crew did an incredible job. They got the whole thing in. Matt Kuchar was in 12th place. Didn't mean anything for the FedEx Cup. Didn't mean anything for pretty much anything. Hits into the group ahead of him on 18 and then just picks up his ball and leaves and says it's too dark, and came back on Monday to finish half a hole while everyone else had finished. So
And didn't
made
win.
people come back and sit there. It was actually very funny watching everyone clap. Douchebag move by him.
Did he make his putt?
I think he got the exact score he was going to
He
get.
got a par.
He stayed at 12.
So he two-putted.
So Hank, no, he was like halfway up the fairway when he came back.
Okay.
Hank, you're
I'm not defending him because Matt Kuchar is a documented scumbag. He won a tournament. He had like a fill-in caddy. He won like I think $1.5 million or $2 million or something. Paid his caddy like $5,000. Like,
Yep, I remember that.
And there's been some other examples of him being a scumbag. So I think in this case, it probably is just him being a scumbag. But I did see a golf journalist who had a thread breaking down why he might have been doing it, basically saying that he was in the last group and the person he was playing with had a 4-shot lead. He had to play in the dark. He kind of blew his lead, and the group in front of them was playing super, super slow all day. There's a couple long videos of the guy who won, I think Rye, the two-glove guy, taking like 4 minutes on putts, like taking forever, and that Kuchar was basically standing up for the guy who lost the lead, but he didn't say it, like, which is obviously not.
and
good
also
for his defense.
didn't that guy finish?
He chose to finish, but Kuchar was saying like he was just, he was going through the motions. He didn't say this, but this is what the guy was saying, that maybe he was just trying to set an example of like the guy should have been playing faster in front of them. You got to take a stand.
But that's not – how is that taking – I don't know how that takes a stand for the guy he's playing with. If the guy he's playing with was like, oh, good call, Matt Kuchar, I'll come back Monday too, I understand.
Well, at that point, he was already out of the league. He already had lost.
Sounds like he's taking him being a jerk and twisting it into here's why I'm actually a hero.
Did Matt Kuchar write this article that you read, Hank?
No. And the other point
Matt
he
Kuchar's
said
wife?
was that if Matt Kuchar had just come out and said all this instead of doing the little coy shit, people probably would have had his back, but he didn't.
That's true. If he had been like public about why he was doing that ahead of time. I'm looking back now at the caddy controversy where he paid his caddy $5,000, and then later on, Kuchar said that McIlroy cost him $300,000 due to the 2-point advantage in their season-long FedEx Cup race, and then Rory said, and we all know what that money means to him. So apparently he's cheap.
Oof.
Super cheap and like a documented kind of scumbag.
Maybe.
So-
how about this? Flights, they're cheaper on Mondays.
True. But he had to stay an extra day.
Way cheaper.
He had to stay an extra day.
PGA Tour had a funny tweet because they do like the every shot from like Brooks Koepka winning the U.S. Open or whatever, and they show a million shots. They did every shot from Matt Kuchar's finish Monday morning, and it was just 3 shots.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, there's like a couple of random people clapping. Okay, and then my cool throne is Trump's comedic bone because he did the Elon Musk Twitter space, and listen, we don't get political on this podcast, but the retelling of the high stakes stare down with Putin was one of the hardest times I've ever laughed. I'll play it for you. This is his telling of Putin and Trump negotiating the start of a war and what was going to happen.
And again, I said to Vladimir Putin, I said, don't do it. You can't do it, Vladimir. You do it, it's going to be a bad day. You cannot do it. And I told him things that what I do, and he said, no way. And I said, way.
That's it.
Good.
That's it.
That's good.
I mean, that's fucking funny.
That's what all negotiations are, by the way.
Way.
That's the subtext to every negotiation ever. Way. Just say way and walk away.
Way. Yeah. It's a 5-year-old response. He got him with.
Yeah, deep down inside, we are all 5-year-olds.
Yes. No way. Way. Okay, Huey.
My hot seat, the WNBA.
Oh.
Okay.
I got a real story here. This one is legit. So there's a woman by the name of De'Erica Hamby. She was on our 3x3 women's basketball team.
Okay.
She is in a little dispute right now with the league of the WNBA and the Las Vegas Aces.
Oh.
So I'll give you the rundown before I give you the headline.
Okay. That's how it usually goes.
Yep.
When you read an article, yeah.
In June 2022, she signed a contract extension. In July 2022, she got pregnant.
Okay.
And then what comes out afterwards
A baby.
Well,
Yes.
she alleges that in the following months that the Las Vegas Aces were quote unquote unhappy with her, and she's alleging that so essentially in the contract she was supposed to have team provided housing, and she was supposed to have school tuition for her daughter's private elementary school.
Okay.
She had an older kid.
Older daughter, yeah.
Yeah. And she is alleging that the Vegas Aces did not give her that, on top of the fact that they essentially wanted to trade her and wanted to push her out because she signed a big enough contract that they said was enough for 2 to 3 players. You know, the contract was a big enough contract. She's averaging 20 points, 10 rebounds right now. She's doing very well.
Mm-hmm.
But the contract essentially, they wanted a few different players for her contract, is what Las Vegas is saying.
Wait, so
Read us the headline.
Wait, so the Las Vegas Aces, they're owned by who again? What football player has an ownership stake in them, Big Cat?
Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's interesting because this doesn't sound like something Tom Brady would do to a pregnant woman, kick her out.
Read us the headline.
So the official headline
Is
she is essentially that the
I got it right here. Sparks, De'Erica
Yeah.
Hamby sues WNBA Aces alleging discrimination. I think you should have read the headline first.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of unorthodox.
well, hear me out.
Okay.
So this is the second time they're going into an investigation. The
Oh.
first time, the Las Vegas Aces lost their 2025 first-round pick
For a pregnant lady?
for a pregnant woman.
Whoa.
So essentially, and she's saying that the WNBA did not do a good enough job. So
Got it,
essentially, they're going back. She
They
wants
didn't
them to
learn
go
their
back
lesson.
and yeah. So and go through all that, and also have to pay for her her money, the money she lost, her lawyer fees, all that extra stuff.
Yeah, which they should do.
Which stuff that also this would never happen in the in the NBA.
Correct.
Oh yeah, because
I don't think
you
they
can't
get
get
pregnant.
pregnant.
Yeah.
But also,
Can you imagine if like if male football players could get pregnant and you're psyched about the upcoming season?
Yeah.
And then you find out Jalen Hurts is going to have a kid, so he's going to
Pregnant.
be out all season.
yeah,
yeah.
that would suck.
The discourse that would surround the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, and essentially that's why the Aces, in her words, are saying why they weren't happy with her.
Yeah.
It's because they signed this big contract
And she got pregnant.
she gets pregnant a month later.
Well, that's not. I mean,
It's not her fault.
yeah, you should be able to get pregnant.
Yeah.
I agree. You should get pregnant when you want to get
It's
pregnant.
fair.
And sometimes you don't plan it.
Yeah.
And it was literally a month after.
People
so like
be
she probably
fucking.
started having sex with her once she got a big paycheck.
Yeah, that's true.
know,
to
that's
celebrate.
true.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Paycheck sex.
Guys love money.
Yeah.
We love chicks with money.
All right, and your cool throne?
My cool throne, the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh.
They are the first league franchise in I think U.S. sports to surpass the $10 billion evaluation.
this.
Good.
I love this.
No one's got more money than JJ.
Yeah.
Jerry
And
Jones.
I love these lists. They're kind of like the U.S.
Forbes.
News and World top ranking of colleges,
Yeah.
where it's like none of this. It's all made up.
Every school has been at least rumored to be one of the top 10 party schools in the United States.
Yes, and every school is also like they're the small Ivies, the public Ivies.
Yeah.
But it's the price is what it sells for.
Yeah.
The price is the price.
Yeah, I don't know. They say that he could sell the team for $10 billion.
But again, it
I
doesn't
think-
matter if no one wants to buy it for $10 billion.
I think Jerry Jones would buy the team right now for $10 billion
Yeah.
from himself.
Yeah,
How come they can't pay Dak and CeeDee then?
that's a good point. That's a good point. Should be able to should be able to
Take a loan
mortgage
out.
some of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, take a second mortgage out. Okay, let's get to our interviews. We got Peter Schrager. We're going to talk a little Hard Knocks, and then we have Mickey Hart and Wright Thompson. PFT, you got a couple words before that.
Yes, before we get to our interviews with Peter Schrager, I want to talk to you about my favorite people in the entire world, my favorite sunglasses for sure, and that would be Shady Rays. Shady Rays, they're the best sunglasses. It's sunglasses season. I hope you've got your Shady Rays, but it's not too late to get them right now. They've got the best warranty in the business. If you don't love them, send them right back. They're going to get you a new one. They've got these brand new Rival collections, and they are aggressive. They're awesome sunglasses. Big single lens. They've got the premium Stool and Stars Barstool lens etch on them. They're Barstool Blue. You can check them out. I was driving the El Camino wearing my Rivals the other day. Felt badass. It's just a good look. It's a good look for the summer. And if you're looking for something more casual, the Classics are also getting the Barstool treatment. Both of these styles are perfect for all-day, everyday comfort and performance. They've got hundreds of options to choose from. You're bound to find the perfect pair for your style. If you don't love your shades, exchange them for a new pair, or you can return them worry-free within 30 days. There's no risk with Shady Rays. Their team always has your back with personal and fast support. Go over to shadyrays.com and use code PMT. That's shadyrays.com, promo code PMT, to get 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades that are rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. And now here's Peter Schrager.
Okay, we now welcome on our good friend 2 times in a week, because he did join us on the Grit Week van for the Mount Rushmore of Yellow. You got a insight into the madness that is Pardon My Take. It is Peter Schrager. He has the Hard Knocks podcast. He has Good Morning Football. He's a reporter on Fox. He does everything.
Does anyone ever call you the Schragermeister?
No, I like that. I like that.
Nice cold glass of Schragermeister.
Can I show you what
Peter-
else I am? In the
Yeah.
Possession of this book.
Is that me?
This is the Aaron Rodgers unauthorized biography. I got a copy. I'm flipping through it. I'm about 100 pages in. Let's
Ooh.
go.
Okay, there's probably a lot of slander in there.
biography.
Yeah, on the Bears. All right, so before we start, we should just address this was a win tonight for the 3 old guys sitting right here. We're not going to rub it in because it is live now on Max, but there was a delay getting the Hard Knocks episode up. And I know that PFT and I have been belittled, ridiculed, mocked for years now because we refused to cut the cord. Tonight was our Super Bowl because we got to watch Hard Knocks live and everyone else was mad about an app. So credit to us, guys, for never giving up.
We did it. We did it, guys. I knew this time would come. And it's interesting you call it the Super Bowl. I thought of it more like training camp. This is like training camp for football season. especially college football season, when you know that there will be certain apps out there that aren't going to work on Saturday, and you're going to need these reps in the preseason to know that you need a redundancy plan in place. You need to know that you have good old-fashioned cable, nothing wrong with it. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail.
Yes.
So just let's use this opportunity to get better.
I pay $200+ a month to a cable provider every single month. I barely even turn on the TV, but it's all in preparation for this moment. I think it's akin to, you see that Michael Rubin Fanatics white party, and like those who are in the know are there and they're all partying and we're all on the outside looking in. Watching all of these Bears media members be like, does anyone have HBO? And like just us like taking photos of it and like doing selfies. Like I felt like we were at the party and they were all on the outside looking in. It felt pretty good.
I've said it before, but I have a dear friend who cut the cord. It was probably like 8 years ago, and or maybe it was like 6 years ago, and I was over his house for the USC Ohio State whatever bowl game they were playing in, and his stream kept on buffering, and I had a lot of money on the game. And it was at that moment that I was like, I always have to have a backup plan. I know this is going to cost me too much money, but I don't care. I have to be able to watch my sports live. And tonight we won. So, Schrager, it was actually a great episode.
It was.
It felt like they got back to football. It was like they spread the ball around. First episode was a lot of Eberflus. Tonight was like, Keenan Allen, Roma Dunze, we had a DJ Moore moment, Jonathan Owens. So you watched these before, right? Do you get these before us?
I get them like a few hours before they go live, so I can do them, and then I interview a guest each week. So the first week I interviewed Urlacher, who was amazing, and then this week I just got off the phone with Ryan Poles, who has also seen the episode, and the GM and I were talking back and forth about it a little bit. And to your point, the first week was a lot of setting up characters. Here's Eberflus's glow up. We're going to talk about his Ryan Reynolds hair. This week, we get Jalen Johnson and we get Keenan Allen going at it one-on-one at practice, actual football, and great access that we don't typically get to see when we just have the shaky cam footage from training camp where someone's watching from like the crowd.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And then it sounds like Keenan Allen was conceding that, this guy's been beating me all practice. Like this guy had the best of me. So Bears offense gets a lot of press, but like this was the episode for the Bears defense, and I know
it was. And so I have to ask, everyone should go listen to your Hard Knocks podcast. But can you tell us maybe a quick summary of what Ryan Poles is feeling? I mean, I love him, but where's he at mentally with this team?
Yeah, there was a quick little moment in the beginning of the episode where he's talking to Ian Cunningham, who is kind of his number 2 in Chicago, and he's like, "Have you noticed that Caleb's getting a little better on film? Like he's picking it up a little bit, the rhythm." And he's like, "Uh-huh." So he was talking about it every single day. Like Caleb's picking up things that he didn't have the day before. He's picking up coverages that he didn't see week 1, now in week 2. But I thought was great. I was like, I kind of liked Caleb in episode 1 because for that rookie show, you can go up there and you can be like, here's my college fight song, or like, here's my favorite like new hip hop song. Instead, Caleb comes out. He's horrible singing John Legend's Ordinary People. And like they're throwing shit at him and he just gets the piss taken out of him and he's smiling and he's laughing. And he's an equal with Tyson Bagent, Austin Reed, and Brett Rippon. And you're like, I like this guy. So I'm like, you have to like that. And he's like, no, dude, that's Caleb. Like, he has never been an entitled guy. He comes right in. He's one of the guys. And he's like, if you think he's shitty singing, you've got to see him golf. And the best part about it is he's a horrible golfer. But, like, he comes out there and he, like, takes the swings and, like, is not scared. A lot of these athletes have too much pride. Like, Caleb's like, I suck at golf. I'm going to play and I don't care. And that's the ultimate confidence. So, like, they're all happy. It's going well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem like they're pretty happy with him. I wonder if Poles would have done the podcast if Caleb Williams hadn't played that well in preseason week 1. Because, like, we got to see him go out there and do stuff that only a couple people can do in the NFL with his arm. And so he's like, yeah, probably a little bit of relief from Ryan Poles. Like, okay, at least I know I'm not a complete moron for taking this guy number 1. He looks
I did get this booked on Sunday night, so that does make sense. The game was Saturday. One last thing on Poles. I thought it was interesting because a lot of these guys clam up when it's not like football. I was like, you were in Kansas City when they drafted Mahomes, but you were also in Kansas City when they drafted Kelsey. Like, would you have ever thought? He's like, what? He's like, no, I would have never thought, like, at that time that Kelsey would get through his rookie year. He was crazy. He's like, that's why we love Travis, because, you know, Andy Reid found a way to make it work. And, like, he said that he and Kelsey saw each other before a game last year. And the two of them did like the Paul Rudd, Sean Evans meme of like, look at us. And he's like, I'm a GM. And he's like, and I'm dating the number one pop star in the world. And it's like the two of them had a huge embrace. And I'm like, all right. So Poles has a personality. He was pretty cool.
Yeah, he is. Other quick hitters, because we have some questions, Schrager, about the rest of the NFL. And we don't want to do all Bears, but these are just notes I took down, PFT, so you can add in anywhere.
Yeah.
I love that they're scouting the refs. Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool.
Craig Rolstrad. I believe that gentleman's name is Harry Freed. I go deep. The kid who is talking to Caleb and it's like, look, he's an athletic director in Seattle, and this is what he does. You're going to see him once a week. Like, that's how deep this is. I've never seen that before. That was cool.
Yeah, that was very cool.
Like, private investigators for the refs. It's smart.
Yeah. I loved seeing the scene at the Museum of Ice Cream, just because I've been to the Museum of Ice Cream 3 times, both in New York City and Chicago.
I didn't know. Is that like a chain? Because Big Cat,
it is.
I took my kid to New York.
He's a history buff, so he wants to know more.
History.
Well, listen, you go to the one in New York City. Is the one in Chicago the same? You got to go to the one in Chicago again.
It's kind of like a Hillstone. Like if there's a Hillstone in any city, I'm trying that French dip there. I have to.
I have no problem saying I've been to the Museum of Ice Cream 3 times. That's I'm not worried about. And then the other one, and this one was like a very dad moment. DJ Moore before the game in Buffalo, his daughter being like, "What's the bumblebee's name in If?" And like that's, if you have kids, that's the most kids thing ever, where like the world could be on fire and your kid is just like,
this is
hey,
right before
play
the game.
that one song. Yeah, play that one song we listened to 3 weeks ago that has the cat in it. And I'm like, I don't fucking know what song this is.
And how up to date, like If came out like in June. So I'm like, wow, that's not saying Frozen. That's not Beauty and the Beast. That's not Aladdin. Like, give me the If character. I'm like, If. I don't even. Where'd you find If? Okay, again, cable guy here. I don't even know where to find If. That's incredible.
Okay, I stupidly didn't plug my mic in after I spent the first 10 minutes being like, "Oh, I'm a genius for not cutting cords," and look at me. That was the most karma thing ever. So you could hear me through my headphone, my earphone, or I actually have, wired headphones. You hear me through that mic. Now I'm plugged into my actual mic. Holy shit, that was a perfect way to start the show for me to be like victory lap and then, hey, you are the old fuck. PFT, any other thoughts about Hard Knocks before we talk about Schrager about other camp stuff?
I just made a quick list of 3 things that Big Cat's going to get mad about during Hard Knocks.
I didn't get mad at all.
Let me get to him. Let's see if you got mad. Because last week you got mad about a few things, how they portrayed our dear sweet Caleb Williams. Yeah. The first thing is I just predicted that Big Cat would yell at Max for not pressing the button. Did not. So maybe this is growth. Maybe this is progress. Number 2, you remember last week when you got upset when they showed Caleb Williams on screen when somebody used the word grinder?
That was a joke, but yeah.
I was wondering if this week you got upset when Caleb was having trouble putting his shoulder pads on.
No doubt, I know.
And then Rome was like, he was like, "Hey Rome, can you get my strap on?"
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you're thinking about me while you're watching Hard Knocks. Keep going.
Just sexually, only sexually.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it, honestly, because I feel like you would probably agree with Austin Reed when he got upset at Sean McDermott for challenging that completion. Yeah. All Austin Reed wanted was just one completion.
Yeah.
And what is Sean McDermott doing? Come on, let's be nice. Let's spread the ball around a little bit here.
Can I shout out Austin Reed's parents? We have a correct production team. I'm like, give me these parents' names. These people are great. Jen and Tom Reed, and they went to every one of his games from Southern Illinois to West Florida to Western Kentucky, and now he's been to Canton and Buffalo. I'm for those guys. Those are my favorite people.
Good people.
They're awesome.
I also had on my list that you would get upset at HBO Max because you thought that maybe they were intentionally not letting people see the good Caleb Williams plays this week.
No, again, I was watching on cable, so I was not mad. Listen, my complaints about the first week, I admitted that I was maybe a little triggered, but there also were some real complaints in there. They showed football this week. Mm-hmm. I wanted to see football, and that's what they did. They showed a lot of football. And again, they spread the ball around. Like, I want to see everyone on the team, and it felt like that this week where they were giving a bunch of guys some love. There, like at the end when they were giving Austin Booker some love, it was just, I loved it. Like, you're learning
Wheeler,
about all
the running
the
back out of Howard, he got a lot of love.
Yeah, right. Velas Jones fumbled the ball. I've seen that before many times. Mm-hmm. Then he had some nice runs, but yeah, I have no complaints about this week's episode. I thought they did a great job.
Also, I don't think that Simone Biles is human when they showed her climbing up that rope.
Crazy.
That's just crazy.
Crazy.
As a guy that used to like jump up and then quickly put one arm above the other and then just fall, the fact that she can climb a rope to the ceiling in like 3 seconds is insane.
Did you guys have that? The presidential like fitness, the national fitness?
Yeah.
I was never presidential. I was always national. I couldn't do like the flex arm hang long enough.
Yeah. Oh, you did the flex arm hang?
Yeah,
You
not
didn't
good.
do the pull-ups?
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah. I always had trouble with the mile run. I was always like 30 seconds too slow to get presidential in that.
Yeah. All right, Schrager, give us 3 big stories that are going around in training camp right now, and what's happening, and maybe just some details because you're plugged in everywhere.
Yeah, I've been to a few of them, and I'll say like one of the cool things at Jets camp when I was there was that the Hassan Reddick story is like almost like a non-factor. And I'm not minimizing it. It's a crazy situation that you have a star pass rusher request a trade, get traded, and they somehow didn't sign him to a long-term deal before they brought him in the building, and he did the press conference, and now he's not there and wants to be traded again. But like, I live in New York City. I'm amongst all these Jet fans. It's like last year they were burned so badly, and they're like so scarred that they're not letting themselves get excited. Of all the practices I've been to, the crispest practice I was at this Jets one, and it's like they're really good on paper. They were really good on paper last year. But they added 3 really good offensive linemen to protect Rodgers. They added players on defense. Like, I'm trying not to get too excited because, I've been down this road with the Jets, but I'd say the Jets are running a very crisp, nicely, somewhat under the radar training camp. And in a year where it looks like the Patriots, the Dolphins, and even the Bills might be taking a step back from where they were last year. Like this, I don't know. I don't want Jets fans to get too excited because I get it, but like that was one of the crispest practices I've been to all summer, maybe in the last couple summers.
Ooh,
interesting.
I like
what
that.
What about Brandon Ayuk? Is he going to get traded, or are we just going to play the will Brandon Ayuk get traded game all year?
I do this daily morning show, and it's like we have 32 teams, and we have so many stars. In like multiple days, we've started talking about Brandon Ayuk, and it's just like, now here's the wild thing with that situation. They thought they had a deal, then both sides went dark, and then it was like, all right, well, there's the Patriots, but then Brandon Ayuk's, I'm not going to the Patriots. So it's really down to one team, the Steelers right now, and apparently there's a framework in place, but you need Ayuk and the Niners to agree upon it. Like the Steelers aren't budging. Here's the crazy thing. His agent's a guy named Ryan Williams, who's a big agent in the league, whatever. They have a bunch of guys. Ryan Williams and John Lynch are like lifelong buddies, like best buddies. Like Ryan Williams invited John Lynch to his wedding. Like they are that tight. So there's personal connections in this thing where to me that tells me, all right, at the end of the day, if those are the two people who are running the business operation in this situation, like they'll find a way to get Ayuk dressed and with the Niners and playing with this team. And it'll be a contract that both sides are happy with. And the Niners can go to bed at night. But like for them to go and like dig their heels in on this one, and then for Ayuk's people to be like, well, he cannot take a step on the field until he gets more money. Like I just have to think it's a beneficial place for both of them. Like let's just get it done and find a way to make it happen.
Wait, you said that he invited John Lynch to his wedding. Did John Lynch go to his wedding?
Yeah,
did he attend the wedding?
John Lynch was at the wedding, like lifelong friends. The wedding. Yes.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, yeah.
It's
would
always
you rather
so
lead
interesting.
off? Like Good Morning Football, would you rather lead off for the next 2 weeks with talking about the Dallas Cowboys every day?
No.
Or talking about Brandon Ayuk?
It's funny because our show is on so early. So like I always make this argument, and you guys can appreciate this. I'm like, there are not that many Niners fans up right now. Like, I don't know if we need to start the first hour of the show talking about a second wide receiver on the 49ers, but I think it's a universal theme when you get the player that's like, I'm not coming to camp, but I am at camp, but I'm not taking part in practice. So I don't know. Cowboys, that might sell better, but the Ayuk thing is more timely.
So, and then the last one that I had a question about is, what are the Vikings going to do with J.J. McCarthy?
Yeah. Look, that's crappy news. We just got it today. Obviously, that his knee's messed up, and hopefully he'll be back. But that wasn't necessarily the plan week one anyway. The way I saw it, or the way that I've been hearing it, is that like, and I know you can roll your eyes because we've seen Darnold with the Jets, with the Panthers, with the Niners. We've seen Sam Darnold, right? We get what we're getting. Still in his 20s, and like everything I've heard is that like as great as J.J. McCarthy's been, like Darnold's been even better in camp. They signed him to a $10 million deal. they feel confident that Darnold was going to start anyway out of the gates. So this gives time for McCarthy, but that's a really good situation for Sam because it's Kevin O'Connell, who's a former quarterback in the NFL. It's Josh McCown, who's a 18-year veteran in the NFL. He's the quarterback's coach out there. And then you've got Addison, Jefferson, Aaron Jones, and of course that great offensive line. So if Darnold was ever going to have a chance to get out and have a good start, it's with this team and what they have. The McCarthy thing, it's unfortunate because I think everyone was excited. But again, 21-year-old kid, super young. I don't think they were rolling him out of the gates the first month of the season anyway.
Yeah, so it sounds like they'll probably take the more cautious approach. It does suck. It sucks beyond belief to have your rookie quarterback have that, but you also have to think long term. It's not just this season. They're not in win now mode.
Yeah, PFT. I'll tell you this. I talk to Cliff all the time, the offensive coordinator in Washington. Everyone's happy, and Poles is thrilled with Caleb, and I talked to Sean Payton, and he's thrilled with Bo Nix. You have no idea how good this kid is. Great. What they're getting out there in Washington. I'm not trying to get you too gassed up here, but
gas me up.
Holy shit, bro. They're talking this guy is the real deal in Washington. And Jaden Daniels has been everything they were hoping for and more in training camp as far as leadership, as far as on the field. And we saw him attempt 3 passes, but how calm did he look in that preseason game against the Jets, just moving the ball right up the field?
Yeah, I mean, Dan Quinn called him Top Gun, which is an awesome nickname.
That is
because
awesome.
He just buzzed the tower. He didn't get permission, but the first pass that he threw, Dan Quinn needs to teach him we're too close for missiles. Let's switch to guns because the first one that he threw on that little screen pass went 6 feet over his head. I'm going to chalk that one up to adrenaline.
This dude's pumped. He had family in the building. It was a noon start. He was ready to go, man.
Yeah, I like how you said I'm not going to gas you up too hard, and then you're like, "Holy shit, bro!" I'm gassed. All right, I can't get any more gassy than I am right now. I haven't felt this way in a long time. Maybe I'm just desperate to have any shred of positivity or hope. But yeah, I'm getting drunk on all the Jaden Daniels Kool-Aid. So I'm happy that you told me that. You said earlier that the Jets looked like they were having a pretty good camp. Things look crisp. I know you don't want to trash any teams. But can we put it this way? Which teams so far in camp have had the most questions?
Yeah, I'm curious what we get with the Patriots, and I know Hank is a key part of this group here. I just new coach, rookie quarterback, the preseason debut for all of them didn't do anything to blow anyone's hair back. So this could be a really interesting transition year in New England, and to have Ayuk so openly say I'm not going to New England. Everyone just kind of shrugged their shoulders and nod it's a new era. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
But counterpoint, Joe Milton. Maybe he saw Joe Milton play and he was like, maybe.
That's it. Fans of Michigan, fans of Tennessee, fans of college football have been hearing about Joe Milton for years. I think he's got a great rocket arm, and we had him on Good Morning Football last year. He's a really good kid, but you go in the 6th round, and accuracy has always been an issue. So I wouldn't put Milton ahead of May just yet.
It's phase 1. We're in phase 1 of the Joe Milton experience, and anyone that's paid attention to him in the past, you know what's coming, but just enjoy the ride.
Enjoy it. And they used to do this with, I want to say it's either Michael Bishop or Rohan Davey. They would take out Brady at the end of a half, and they would throw in one of these just rocket armed guys just to throw the Hail Marys at the end. Belichick used to do that. I think it's Michael Bishop from Kansas State. I would not be shocked if we saw Joe Milton just throw a couple bombs during this season, and they put him in there just to let him get one of those deep throws before the end of the half.
All right.
I have something for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am so jealous of that Rob Dyrdek ridiculousness, studio you guys have in Chicago, where I'm at all hours watching just fun games happening. Big Cat, I live in Brooklyn, obviously used to live here, and I don't know since you left, but there is a craze in Brooklyn, and it's in Dumbo, and it's the sport called padel.
Yeah.
Are you aware of what padel is?
No.
I've played it.
You have? Okay.
Yeah,
go
it's
on.
the sworn enemy of pickleball.
Yes, it's
What is
pickleball's
it?
evil twin. So it's 2-on-2. It's like pickleball, but you can go in the kitchen and all this thing. It's more tennis than pickleball, but there's glass walls, and you bang it off the walls. And I've been playing it all summer. They have it at in Dumbo, and I am telling you, guys, if you built a padel court in that Chicago gymnasium of yours, I will fly out once a week and I will play with you. I am so addicted to this sport. And it's not just me. I'm at the court and like Andrew Schultz, the comedian, walks in, he plays, name drop, doesn't say hello to me, doesn't know who the fuck I am, but like still he's there. There are other people there. Like it's gaining steam and I feel like you guys would love it. And Big Cat is so up your alley where it's it's not tennis.
Schrager,
you're not going to be,
but that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to basically figure out different ways to play tennis, which is a boring sport to play. And they're like, oh, let's make it small. Let's stay off the walls. Like, hey, can you just admit tennis is boring?
No, how dare you? PFT, did you love it when you played?
Okay, so I played one time and I got my ass kicked by a 65-year-old.
Okay.
All these boomers are creating games that they just don't even have to move.
They're so good at it, and they know all the angles, and they know how to like hit it off the wall and wait for it off the wall and hit it at just the right angle.
I know.
It was humiliating.
But like
that's what they do, though.
I remember when you were doing those basketball workouts, and I was so jealous of you. I'm like, yes, that looks fun. Like you're getting a sweat in. This is what this is. Like it's
no, because the boomers have created games where they basically like shrunk tennis so they can stand in one place and be like, I worked out. That's what they're doing.
I'm telling you, you will sweat your ass off in this one.
I think the boomers created these sports just so they can stick it to millennials.
Yeah.
So they can just kick the shit out of us at a sport and be like, see, I told you guys didn't work hard enough.
They never sell their houses, so no one our age can own a house. They never leave their jobs, so they never want to leave the presidency. They just now they ruin all of our sports and recreation. I'm with you. Forget it.
Yep. And what's the theme about all these sports? They just take a sport that already exists and just make it significantly smaller so they can cover all the ground. It's ridiculous. I will not stand for Padel. All right, I have one last question. Schrager, it's a rollback question. RHOBACK.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. Who is going to be the week 1 starter in Pittsburgh?
I think Russell Wilson.
Yeah?
I don't know the status of his calf. I just know that when they brought him in, it was like they put tunnel vision on. They're like, Russ is our guy. Like, we're good. Like, just feel it. And Fields would. It's ironic because I remember covering, this is going to date me, I remember covering the Seahawks in like 2012 when your guy Russell Wilson showed up there, and it was the late Tavares Jackson and it was Matt Flynn, and everyone was like, it's an open competition, and Russell was a 3rd round pick and won the job outright. That's what they're saying in Pittsburgh, and I think like the irony is like it would have to take Justin Fields to have a lights out, undeniable preseason, and it would have to maybe take a not 100% Russell Wilson with that calf for Fields to start week 1. But I think the plan is Russell Wilson week 1.
I think so too. Yeah. What about your guy Canales? What about do we have any Canaleses?
Yes.
Or your guy Tepper?
Because I feel like
did you see the Canales? Did you see the Canales video that came out where they were doing the rookie show and he said, "Fuck it, I'm jumping in," and he's saying Bob Marley. Every little thing's going to be all right to the team, and he's saying it perfectly in Q. So all is good in Carolina, guys.
Okay, that's good. That I'm glad that he's a good singer. That's important to have as a football coach,
as an NFL head coach. It's good.
Has there been any reason for optimism down there? I do feel for Panthers fans. You had a rough season 1 with Bryce Young, and the fact that C.J. Stroud was so good last year and he went 2nd overall. It's tough. It's tough to make it through a season like that. Yeah. Is there room for hope? Do we have hope in Carolina?
Sure. And look, they this offseason they like really spent a lot of money on like guards. Like they spent a lot of money on like Robert Hunt from the Dolphins, who's not a household name, but like they broke the bank on him. They just want to build up this like brick wall in front of Bryce Young, and yes, he can see above it. And then in the draft, they got Leggett at wide receiver. They got Brooks at running back. So like they got the big guys up front in free agency, and they got some weapons on the outside. Last year had never had a shot. It was dead on arrival as far as no weapons, no protection, no chance. And now you have an offensive head coach, and you brought a bunch of different skill position players in, and now you have an offensive line. So the hope is this team is a little bit better, but they're not like a playoff team in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're a David Tepper apologist. So.
I am. I loved his maniacal ways on Wall Street. I told you that last time I spoke with you.
Yes.
No, I haven't spoken to Tepper. I assume he's on a yacht somewhere. Somewhere nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, Schrags, thank you so much. We'll see you again during the football season. Everyone listen to the Hard Knocks podcast, especially now Ryan Poles is on this week's episode. And good one for us tonight. for having
Cable, Team
still.
Cable. Team
Yes.
Cable.
Yeah.
Remember Tom Cable? We're Tom Cable guys. Let's go.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Grit week.
They call
Thanks,
us
guys.
idiots.
Yeah.
Tonight was our night.
Tonight was our night. Appreciate you guys. Hard Knocks Podcast. Find it.
Peter Schrager was brought to you by our good friends over at Verizon. I'm excited for the best time of year, football season. Verizon can help you win Sunday and be fully prepared for football watching with NFL Sunday Ticket, meaning that you can get your favorite team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon. After the move to Chicago, I've used Sunday Ticket to watch every Sunday Commanders game. On my own terms, I can keep up with my team from afar. If you're in a new city, you want to keep track of your home team, you got to have Sunday Ticket. I can watch Commanders games right at home or on the go with my phone. I don't need to go out to bars to catch the game. And it relies on NFL ST to get the Commanders games I want and the ones that I can't live without. And you can get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV to keep up with all of your favorite teams and out-of-market games on Sunday afternoon, too. It's the best. You need to have Sunday Ticket. You got to keep up with your team. Got to watch your team. Sometimes you go to a bar. You don't know what the TV situation is going to be like. Turns out they only have the local Fox, CBS games. Got to be able to whip that thing out, watch it right on your own phone. Get an awesome deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube with Verizon. The interviews are also being brought to you by our great friends over at The Farmer's Dog. I love The Farmer's Dog. I feed Blake, the Farmer's Dog, twice a day. For breakfast, Farmer's Dog. For dinner, Farmer's Dog. He absolutely loves it. The days are warmer, the walks are longer, and one easy way to help your dog shine this season is with fresh, healthy food from The Farmer's Dog. They make real, fresh dog food. They deliver it right to your door. Recipes are developed by vet nutritionists made from real meat and veggies and portioned just for your dog, making it easy to say goodbye to burnt brown balls and feed your dog real food with real benefits. It's a smart, healthy pet food that you can feel good about feeding your pup. It's the best option for dogs of all life stages because it's not kibble, it's not canned goo, it's real healthy food. It's not just fresh, high-quality food. They also send the food pre-portioned specifically for your dog based on their unique needs. In the morning, I get up, I go to the fridge, I got a packet of food for Blake, cut it open. He's waiting right there for it because he loves his Farmer's Dog. Serve it to him. Dinner, same thing. Take one out of the freezer, put it in the fridge, let it defrost overnight. Boom, he's got breakfast and dinner for the next day. It's super easy. Stella's been on the Farmer's Dog for years.
Yes.
Before they were a sponsor. Blake has only known the Farmer's Dog as his food. He's had a great, full, healthy life so far. Dogs at a healthy weight can live up to 2.5 years longer than overweight dogs. That's a fact. Keep your dog in shape with the Farmer's Dog, and we've got a deal for you. You can get 50% off your first box of fresh, healthy food at thefarmersdog.com/PMT. Plus, you get free shipping. Just go to thefarmersdog.com/PMT to get 50% off. That's thefarmersdog.com/PMT. And now, here Wright Thompson and Mickey Hart.
Okay, we now welcome on two very, very, very special guests. It is Mickey Hart, the legend himself from the Grateful Dead, and Wright Thompson, award-winning author. We don't read a lot of books, but we know Wright Thompson is a very good author. They have collabed for a new documentary that's coming out on ESPN that's going to be out today as we're airing this. It's called Rhythm Masters, a Mickey Hart Experience. I was lucky enough to watch it, and it's unbelievable. I want to say that from the jump. What you guys produced was incredible. Mickey, I guess my first question is, what made you want to do this project, and kind of like what was the fire that lit you off? Like, hey, I want to combine my world of drumming and sports in such a beautiful way.
Oh, thank you very much. I guess you might call the genesis of it all was with Bill Walton. Of course, Bill and I were good friends, and he once mentioned to me that he thought basketball was very much like a band, a basketball team, and putting a ball through a hoop into a net was like string music. And I thought that was very interesting, that he thought that he saw the musicality in basketball. And I and that started me thinking that, well, everything in this universe is full of rhythm. Vibration is the basis of all life, and it just extends on and on and on, over and over. The rhythm of life, the rhythm of anything, and the rhythm of the game. sports, for instance, was always intriguing to me. Since when I grew up, when I was a little guy, I used to watch Bob Cousy, the great basketball player who kind of almost invented modern basketball. And I used to watch him, and it was actually in black and white and back in the day. And he was my first sports hero. And I thought, well, this guy he's a great artist. I even knew that when I was a kid. And so there is the art of sports and basketball, for instance. And all of those things kind of keyed me. And writing about rhythm in different walks of life and so forth, and was it was another extension of the philosophy that rhythm is everywhere, and you just have to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fascinating. And Bill shows up a number of times throughout the movie. Right off the very start, I think he's the first voice that you hear in the picture. I'm curious to know how he introduced himself to you for the first time. What was your first experience like meeting Bill Walton? You know, him being a massive Grateful Dead fan.
Well, it was back in when he won the championship in Oregon, and he came to one of our concerts. And I looked out into the audience. It was a small place. It wasn't much. It was a theater, kind of a larger theater. And I thought everybody was sitting down. And there was just one guy, you know, and I thought, wow, why is the audience sitting down? There's one guy standing up. And my equipment man, Ramrod, he said, no, that's Bill Walton, you know, the basketball player, you know, and I go, oh, really? Oh, I loved to watch him at UCLA. I saw a lot of the games, and I was a huge Bill Walton fan. And I knew he was a Deadhead. And I just said, bring him backstage. And that's how I met Bill Walton. It was at a concert, and Bill and I started a relationship. I don't know how many years ago, 45, whatever that 40, you know, and became best friends over the years.
Yeah. I mean, we were lucky enough to interview him probably like 6 or 7 years ago, and it was incredible. He was one of those guys that if you spent an hour with him, you felt like he was your best friend, and it was a blessing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. You are, we were talking before this, you are a Deadhead. I have to know, because I'm a huge Deadhead as well, how like cool was it to be in this project and get so close to seeing how Mickey works and how the creative process comes about for such a legendary guy like that? Like, I mean, it's such a cool experience for you, I would imagine, as a Deadhead.
Well, I would say this, you know, it's very cool, obviously, because you're like, you know, when you're 15 years old, these guys don't seem real. And then, you know, so you meet them. But I'll tell you, for me, less than a Deadhead, it was like, as a person who tries to have a creative life, to see Mickey's work ethic. Mickey, close your ears. I hate giving you compliments in front of you. But like, but I mean, his work ethic, that's exactly right. His work ethic and his relentless drive to be creative, to push himself, to stretch, to find the boundaries and move through them. It just was a real, making this movie with him came for me at the exact right time in my own life, just as a reminder of how you approach a creative life and how you don't. And so, like, I don't know, you hear about these guys and you always wonder if the emperor has any clothes, you know, like what are these guys going to be like up close? And it didn't take long for us to understand that we were dealing with a mind at work with an incredibly smart, educated person who also had an intuitive sense of his. One of the things he said that really stuck with me is, as you get older, you grow into your instrument, not out of it.
Yes.
And that really struck me as we are on a journey that lasts a lifetime, all of us. And it was just a good reminder for me of how to be. I mean, I couldn't be more grateful for the experience, and like, making the movie is the tax we all have to pay to have the journey.
Yeah.
And just hearing your voice, right, it just took me into fall. I just thought it was a Saturday morning.
And I'm ready
You
for
want me to
college
start-
football right now.
You know
Yeah.
what? Like, I can start talking about SEC football.
Yeah, I know you can. So, did you have to kick him out of the recording booth? Did he want to do some voiceovers for this movie, Mickey?
Right has been he's been right a lot of times, helping to produce and write some of this chatter. It was a pleasure working with him and Tori, Champagne, and ESPN in general. It's nice folks there, receptive to ideas and very loose, and allowed me to have creative freedom with this. And that's really what it's all about when you're an artist. You have to have that kind of freedom to create something like Rhythm Masters, which I'm very proud of, actually. It's quite quite a good story. It takes rhythm into a whole other land, and
Yeah.
it exposes the idea that rhythm is essential in life.
Yeah.
Just in sports, and then of course in drumming, that's the basis of drumming is rhythm. But just in general, it kind of gives you pause and makes you think about, well, doing something right is in rhythm, or wrong is out of rhythm, or hate or is out, peace is in, all that kind of, the good rhythm and bad rhythm. Health is good rhythm, disease bad rhythm, winning is good rhythm, bad rhythm is losing. All of that kind of stuff was told in this movie. So it's more than just a movie just about sports. It's really tells a lot about, it talks about life in general as well. And it's very important, especially to keep your equilibrium and your balance when you're famous, as sports figures would be, and how they deal with it off the court. Especially, all of these athletes that I interviewed had such a spiritual take on it, and very much like myself, it wasn't very different than how I think about rhythm and music and being in the now. And these things bring you into the moment, and that's very powerful emotional payload, if you will, dealing in, at sports at this level, the rhythm master level. And it also informed me as well, about Mario Andretti, and Marshawn Lynch, Bob Cousy, Phil Jackson, all of these great players and influencers, like Phil Jackson, who's not only a great basketball player, but he's a great human being and brilliant, the Zen master, really. And it was great to reconnect with Phil after a few years of not seeing him. So yeah, it was really very nourishing for me to talk with all of these great players. Some of them are, heroes to me.
Yeah. Phil Jackson talking about how he thinks about basketball in 4/4 time and the two beats for anything to happen was really interesting. There was one thing that you said that struck me, and that was that you can go fast while you're not moving. So what does that mean?
Well, it's about the power of concentration in the mind and focused. And when you focus on something, you can go fast, you can go slow. When I'm up there and I'm playing like mad and I'm just going crazy, but inside I'm very calm and and balanced and happy and so forth. So that allows you to be able to run a marathon or a sprint or just stand still. Sometimes I'm very still inside, and outside, it's just it looks like would look like a frenzy in a way, but that's not really what's going on inside. You have to really be collected and focused in order to go fast, and in the same way to go really slow. You need to be able to have that balance to be able to encompass all speeds. So yeah, the mind is very powerful. So what the brain says, the body does. So this really, basketball, football, mostly is about neurologic function. is about how the brain operates and what signals it sends. And the brain is all about rhythm. You know, you got a trillion neurons firing every second in your brain, and that's pure rhythm. So the ability to be able to coordinate your brain and your body movement, the idea of body-mind connection is everything in sports and in life and certainly in drumming. So you can go fast, you can go slow, you can stand still if you have the right headspace for it, because sports and music create a virtual headspace where you go, which is not like everyday life, like you're walking down the street or doing anything else. It's very different. And that's the high of it all.
Yeah. Yeah. What were you gonna? You said you were. I feel like you were about to say something, and I do want to just hear you talk.
Well, I was gonna say, like, when you talk about Mickey's like relentless curiosity, I mean, the thing that drove it home for me was, I don't know if you remember last year's tour. I mean, the biggest two tours in the world were Taylor Swift's Eras tour and then Dead and Company's summer tour. And so we were out in San Francisco for that last couple of shows. And after the last night, we went immediately back to Mickey's dressing room. I mean, the crowd is still sort of singing Not Fade Away. The drones are still up in the air. And he comes in and locks eyes. And the very first thing he says is, am I going to have my sports highlights tomorrow? I mean, you know, my ears are, to quote Bob Seger, I mean, my ears are still ringing from the echoes of the amplifiers. And he's already moved on. And I just like, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy. That I actually had that question, Mickey, because it's as a fan watching from afar, the Grateful Dead are counterculture, and they're and you know the hardest touring band in history, and like some people from afar might say, oh well, they're just playing jam band music, like whatever. But to hear and read the stories about your guys' work ethic and the days and years that you guys built, even before you became this incredible touring band, you guys were playing day and night, and it feels like that work ethic and those hours put into it kind of get glossed over by maybe regular culture people and thinking like, oh yeah, they're just out there playing their band. You guys put in all these hours. So what was it like when you were getting to that point where you can all speak the same language on stage in an improvisational way that is so hard to reach that point? And I think people don't give enough credit to how difficult, how many hours get into that.
Yeah, you bet. We practiced every day, all day. There was, we weren't sitting around smoking dope or anything.
Right.
And even if we were playing, constantly. So, and also, it happened right from the beginning. Grateful Dead music was magic right from the first, drop of it. So it was just a matter of collectively getting it all together and presenting it to people, because the music was something we were discovering. We were falling on every day. We learned something every day. The more you played, the more you learned. And we didn't care really we weren't into the money or into the fame, and we didn't have hit records. We didn't do videos. So I don't know about counterculture, but we certainly weren't totally part of the music industry. We were maybe in parallel with it, but we certainly weren't part of it. We were in our own Grateful Dead world, spawning our Grateful Dead mythology on our own, with great songs and loving people all around. And we just had a great time in the early days. And then it just kind of blossomed over the years, very slowly, like a turtle, as opposed to the hare. And we're the turtle. But we finished the race, and that's the important part. All those rock stars with their jewelry and the fancy hairs and all that, whatever, they fell by the wayside because it wasn't built on the right foundations. We were built to last, and I knew that right from the beginning. I thought it would. We were thinking about doing this for the rest of our lives. Even when we were kids, we said, do you want to do this the rest of your life? Yeah. Yeah, of course you do. But it's hard to, to actually manifest that.
Yeah.
You can talk about it, but to actually do it, there was a lot of ups and downs and like rhythms, good rhythms, bad rhythms, fights, all kinds of things that we worked through to be able to come out on top, as it were. Like Wright said, it was a great tour. The Sphere was great. It was really an honor to be able to play there, and it was a new experience, yet again a new experience for us.
Yeah.
And that nourished us. And so all this nourishment over the years, if you play, you get nourished. If you really play hard, you play like you really mean it. And we meant it.
Yeah.
We were not kidding around. It was none of that. It was the music first.
Yeah.
Everything else followed, but the music was first always, and still is.
Yeah. The Sphere was incredible. I was lucky enough to go. I basically spent the month after telling everyone how incredible it was and how my life will never be the same after going to the Sphere. The drums in space, the visuals and what you put together there were just out of this world good. I know you can't say, but I'm hoping that the Sphere is not done for Dead and Company, and maybe there's a future dates coming up, because I was lucky enough on the second night I went. I was lucky enough to sit with John Mayer in his green room, and I just spent 30 minutes profusely thanking him for keeping the music alive, and I want to thank you as well. But tell me there's going to be some more Spheres dates, or at least give me a wink.
Yeah, there's no reason why there wouldn't be.
Okay, I love that answer. I love that answer.
Yeah, let's leave it at that.
Yes, because it's all I've been thinking about is getting back to the Sphere. I got to get back to the Sphere. So, right, I'm not joking. PFD can attest to it. I've been telling everyone.
Like the people that leave Avatar, they won't shut up about how great Pandora, the planet, looks and how they wish that they lived on Pandora. That's Big Cat with the Sphere.
Yeah, it's just like I got to get back there. Nothing is the Sphere. My life is not the same without being in the Sphere. So I need to get back.
It's the next step. But we play stadiums which are made for baseball and football. We play places that are not meant for music, really, or lights. Just pretty lame. Light show behind you, one screen. And once you see the Sphere, then you understand what the future is.
Yeah.
Of music and visuals.
Yeah.
And when they come together, it's very powerful. It was a real challenge playing in the Sphere for a lot of reasons. Firstly, it's a new sonic environment that we had to get used to, because we've never played. I mean, I thought it was suicide to play in the Sphere, actually. I mean, sonically, it's just not done. But with all of the artificial intelligence and the 1600 speakers and the high def visuals, we made it come alive. We put a lot of time into making it feel like the Grateful Dead, just like us. And so, and also to be able to stay focused for 30 shows in the same place. We never did that. Maybe we played 13 or 12 days at Madison Square Garden in a row, but we never played 30 dates any place.
Yeah.
So to be able to stay focused was also a big deal. Only playing 3 nights. Normally our pace is 2 nights on, 1 off, 2 nights on. And once in a while we'll play 3. Because of the vocals, it's hard for them to, do 4 in a row. It's very, very hard. So, I think that discipline was part of it, and as you get older, you have more discipline. Younger, the fuel is just youth.
Yeah.
But as you get older, then you got to conjure another kind of power. And everybody really is drama free. It's really a great band now.
It's phenomenal. It's like just watching the iterations, and it's great. I can't thank you enough. Like I said, the drums in space was incredible. I was one of the people laying on the floor. I don't know if you expected that to happen. that people were
Yeah,
going to lay on
you
the
know,
floor because of the vibrations, but
yeah.
that did happen.
Yeah, it gave me pause when they said, "Oh, they're all lying on the floor doing it." I go, "What? You got to be kidding!" That never happened. People normally don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, but in the sphere, you can feel the vibrations, especially in the seats. It's just haptic seats. There's speakers in the seats, and you can feel the vibrations when I go downtown, when I go low. And so, but the visuals, looking up at the visuals and how it kind of goes with the percussion, with the drums. The drums sound, for some reason, sound really good in the sphere,
Yeah.
better than any place else. Nobody can really quite describe the impact that the drums deliver in the sphere for me. And that was just there was the luck of the draw that it just so happens
Yeah.
that drums sound amazing in that place.
Mickey, I was going to ask, one of the things I thought in the Sphere was one of those last couple of nights I was there, it reminded me of that, the power and the communal spirit reminded me of that story you were saying about after Woodstock, when you had your black lab and you could hear Sly and the Family Stone. And I just wonder if you would mind telling these guys that, because that makes the hair stand up on my arms still when I think about the sort of the communion of live music.
Yeah, well, that was a major moment. I remember being on the hill. It was after our set, I guess. And it was at night, and there were fires going all on the valley. You could see them all over. And Sly was just killing it. And they were all singing, "Want to take you higher, higher." So you hear 500,000 people going higher, higher. And, I never heard anything no one has ever heard anything like that before. And I was good friends with the drummer, Greg Rico, masterful drummer, amazing drummer. And he was nailing it. And it was total rapture, really. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, in the idea of awe as an awesome, it really, you just had to sit back and go, wow, the power that we had. We weren't alone. Here was 500,000 of us. No one's ever been able to assemble that, I bet in those days anyway, 500,000 of anything.
Yeah.
Let alone people being friendly, loving, and here the music is taking you to a place that you've never been before. Now, that's power. And you talk about rhythm mastery. Well, that moment, that night, they had it. And also, Michael Shreve, master drummer, with Santana. Michael was a student of mine years and years ago, before the Grateful Dead. He was one of my students. And there he was on the stage playing just out of his mind, just incredible. So I was really proud of him that night, when he played, when he performed. So Woodstock was really, it was very interesting and life affirming, actually, for me.
Yeah.
It's very cool. And I'm sure you've gotten this question before, but I have to imagine that being in a band like the Grateful Dead, it feels like it was something that was always meant to happen. You guys fit in so well together. It's been such an amazing journey. People's lives have been changed. You've made so many friends. Mm-hmm. Was there a moment when you guys started to play? I'm sure you've played in other bands before, but as you're starting to either rehearse or play your first shows with the Grateful Dead, where you knew that something was different and something was special about this band?
Well, absolutely. When I first heard they were already just changed their names to the Grateful Dead. They were Warlocks. Mm-hmm. The band was called Warlocks back then. And they just changed it to Grateful Dead. And and I was invited to their concerts. And when I first heard the band, I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was so loud and it was so out there, and the music was just blossoming. It was a blues band back then, and they were playing the blues like I had never heard the blues before. And then I sat in, and that was it. We just came together and said, wow, this is the Grateful Dead, and so, Jerry said, man, we could take this around the world, and we did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, and so yeah, I knew it right from the very first moment that Grateful Dead music was special, really special. And over the years, we nurtured that, and created what you now know as Grateful Dead music. It's a genre of music, really, and with this, and we were improvisationalists,
Yeah.
and that was different back then. You only improvised in jazz. The Grateful Dead was like a big, loud jazz band, in a way, with a big backbeat.
Yeah.
And so you could dance to this jazz, and everybody was listening to Coltrane and all the great jazz guys, and I was listening to Indian classical music, so very complicated rhythmically, and that's one of the things I brought to the brew was that rhythmic complexity.
Yeah.
And and then we just shot from there. That we took off.
Yeah.
I love the idea of a music executive somewhere listening to the Grateful Dead in the maybe the 1970s and figuring like, we got to figure out a way to recreate this and try to make it like commercial and try to come up with a formula for it, while everything that you guys have done has been organic and just something that's naturally happened between you and your fan base throughout the years. Were there other bands that tried to copy what you guys were doing as it went along, and you're like, you don't have it, man. It's not the
No,
same.
in the beginning, nobody could copy it because it was so new. They didn't know how to do it. When you invent something, then that's different. The people couldn't, at first they couldn't understand it because it was so different, than any other kind of music and so intense back then. Remember, we were just kids playing hard, really fast, hard music, and very complicated actually. And then it got simpler, and we started to learn how to, work at these incredible tempos and being able to go 3, 4, 5, even more hours every night. Back then, there was no unions, and so we could play, we could play till we drop.
Right.
We would at the Fillmore East. We would start at about 8:30 and wound up about 7 o'clock the next morning. So there was nobody to tell us to stop, and we didn't.
Yeah.
Now you have to. Now we limit it to 3.5 hours, which is reasonable now.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I had a question for you. So your life has been sports and covering sports. You wrote a great book called The Cost of These Dreams, Sports Stories and Other Serious Business, which everyone go buy it on Amazon. It's a great, great book. But you've covered sports your whole life. Sports are your life. Was there something that you uncovered in making this and being around Mickey that you're like, wow, I never thought of sports this way?
That's a great question. I never thought about that exactly like that before. Yes. And it came through in several ways. One was Mickey was asking these athletes questions that it seemed to me that they had never been asked before and had been dying to be asked. And so I think that, athletes are physical geniuses who move through a grid with other people. And I think that sometimes they have trouble articulating. They'll say the game seemed to slow down. And it sounds like a cliche, but really it's just a physical genius who can't find the vocabulary to say exactly the complex things that are going on in their heads. And Mickey was asking, I need to just send you the full unedited Marshawn Lynch conversation because
we'd love to.
We used 90 seconds of it, and I'm telling you, that's the best sports interview I've ever heard.
Yeah,
and you should just run it because, like, Mickey got Marshawn and Marshawn got Mickey. They immediately understood each other as sort of fellow travelers along the same path, and that happened with Jack Nicklaus. Jack Nicklaus is famously prickly, and I didn't tell Mickey that beforehand. I thought it'd just be a fun social experiment to see what happened. And but so Jack started off prickly, but by the end, he was putty in Mickey's hands, and so I think it's that these guys spend these guys and gals, men and women, spend a lot of time thinking about their interior life, their mental health. And I don't mean like reacting to stress. I mean, literally, how do you process information? How do you deal with failure and success and egos and all of this? And so it feels like they were getting asked questions that they'd never been asked before and have always wanted to be asked. There are 3 or 4 questions that became stock questions for Mickey that I'm definitely stealing.
Yeah.
Like, I'll ask everybody going forward 3 or 4 of these questions.
And you're right, because I'm watching it, like the one of it was phenomenal. Everyone should watch it. It's so unique and so different than what you think like ESPN documentary. It's so different and out of the box from that. But the Joe Montana part where he's describing a 5-step drop and a 3-step drop and the rhythm of it, and it's like I almost got lost in it. I was like, oh my God, like I never you just think like a quarterback drops back. That's something you see. It's a small part of the game. And just having him dissect it to such a minute level, it was incredible. You're right. Like I didn't even realize it till you just said that point of having the guys talk about it in a way that they had never spoken about it.
I mean, I've written about Joe Montana. I've spent a lot of time with Joe and Jennifer Montana and wrote what I think is a very revealing story about him, in which he said all sorts of stuff he'd never said before. And he said stuff on this interview with Mickey that I'd never heard him say before. And that was very early in the process, too. And it was interesting because Mickey said to me in our first conversation, we went up to his house somewhere in Northern California. And he, that's right. And he was like, I can get them there. And I sort of clocked that. And like, I made a little note and it was like, Mickey says he can get them there. But I was like, all right, tough guy. Let's see, all right, big rock and roll star. Let's see how well you interview somebody. And just after Joe Montana, I knew this is going to be really special.
Yeah.
Because Joe has been interviewed over and over and over and over. And this was new shit. And from that point on, I couldn't schedule enough interviews.
Yeah. By the way, I read the Joe Montana's piece you did. That was phenomenal. Again, go buy Wright's book. I can't recommend it enough.
Read everything he's ever written.
Yeah, right. Like I even forgot that I had written or read your Joe Montana piece. I remember reading it and being like, wow, I'd never even I feel like I actually know Joe Montana now. So, Mickey, was there one specific interview, so kind of like the same question to Wright, where you asked someone something or an athlete revealed something that you had never thought of sports that way?
Well, of course, the Marshawn Lynch, like Wright said, was extraordinary because he talked about the spiritual side immediately. I walk on the field. I look at the nearest goalpost. I circle the field to the right. I circle the field to the left. I think about the people I'm going to hit, and pray that they won't get hurt. And he was just all kinds of wonderful things. And then there's the Phil Jackson interview where he really lays it out. 2 beats, 1 beat, 2 beats, more than 2 beats. You're out of time. So he broke it down. He put that quadrants. He goes here and here and here. And if you don't do this in 2 beats, and he talks about it in beats, which relates to drumming. You can say, well, beat is, everybody knows what a beat is. And so Phil was, of course, very articulate, and everybody, Bob Cousy, he just talks about the art of the game and it as an art form, and Mario Andretti says the engine is vibrating. It's like a song, he says. And when he said that, I go, oh yeah, Mario. That's it. It is a song.
It was really good.
Yeah.
The game is a song.
Yeah.
To a lot of athletes, they see it as musical.
Yeah.
And that really just, I heard how Bill did, spoke of it, but he was a deadhead, and he was talking about, well, I tell you, one time we were backstage with his son, Luke. Luke was the coach of the Warriors, and he's back there and he's saying to Luke, he said, Luke, it's halftime. He said, okay, you got to come out the first with Bertha, and then then you bring it back to playing the band kind of a thing. And then and I said, Bill, give the kid a break, man. He's the coach. We're just spectators here. But he saw it in musical terms, and that's one of the most interesting parts of it, besides the spiritual nature, which I knew athletes had to have it. And in order to access the flow state, where everything moves and you're not even thinking about it and you're in the moment, and all of these things which rhythm masters have to know. If you don't know that, you're not a rhythm master in anything, whether you're painting the fence or you're a great carpenter or you drive a great semi. These are all rhythm masters because they were able to get into that flow state and to be in the now. So it doesn't have to be drums or drumming, or it doesn't have to be sports. You could be a rhythm master in anything.
Yeah.
If you know how to get into these states, these flow states, which is about consciousness.
Yeah.
And be aware of who you are and what you're doing and where you're going, and then also to be able to let it go.
Yeah.
And then just be in the moment. You can think it over and over and over again, but you have to let thinking go and just be. And that's not easy when you're in the middle of, when you're in the middle of that, that cathartic moment. So that's what I brought back from this. I had a great time interviewing all of these athletes, and like Wright says, some of them were they didn't know how to approach the interview. They thought this was going to be a straight interview about how great they were, but that really wasn't really on my mind at all, because they were all great. That's why I talked to them.
Yeah.
Getting down to the human level, that was the real outstanding part for me.
Yeah, you had these moments where you're looking up and Mike Piazza is talking about tigers, and Ozzie Smith is talking about Newtonian physics.
Yeah.
And you're just like what?
Where am I? Yeah.
What? Yeah, I just was like, okay. I mean, one of the things you learn if you're riding shotgun with Mickey is just hang on.
Yeah.
Like, the circus is in town, and so my 5-year-old thought Mickey was like some sort of magic creature.
Well,
she didn't know he was.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, but she didn't know that. She just ran right up to him and gave him this huge hug out of nowhere. And then I later found out that Mickey had given her cookies. So that was it. But no, it just, man, the experience of watching him do this work as someone who was a fan of the music. They say don't meet your heroes. And I mean, we're very lucky to report that. He's an incredibly talented musician, thinker, and writer, but just also a good guy. We had fun. This was a fun project. There was very little drama, as he said. It was, Tori Champagne, who Mickey and I both call the adult in the room, did a lot of work and really brought the thing home. And I just had a great time doing it. And I mean, that's what I'm grateful for.
Yeah. I mean, being able to tap into something that an athlete at the peak of their game has always thought in their own, either they thought it consciously or they've known it their entire lives, and it's how they go about their business. They think about approaching something as simple as a 3-step drop in this very personal way that you can tap into and immediately have them speaking your same language that you understand. It ties back into like just the universal nature of rhythm, which I think it's a really interesting thing to dive into. And then you talked about getting in that flow state, being still, but going fast at the same time. I think you discovered the zone. Mm-hmm. I think that's what being in the zone is. When an athlete says like everything slows down, I think now we can do more work to quantify what the zone is and try to figure out how to get there. It's fascinating stuff to dive into. I'm curious to know, as a drummer, to me, there might be a difference between sports at their highest level and playing music at the highest level, but maybe I'm wrong about this. and that's the inherent nature of competition that you have in sports. And in music, I feel like it's not as much of a competition against somebody else, beating somebody else, as it is doing, maximizing your own ability or playing to the highest of your capability. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is a competitive drive in a lot of musicians.
Maybe there are, but that's second fiddle, actually. The most important thing is, when I go on stage, I try to empty my mind and try to be very relaxed. And I try to make everybody on the stage play good. I'm for them. I'm trying to lay down a real good groove. So, Bob or whoever can, just ride on it, and have a great time. And then I get down to business, but the most important thing is to make everybody feel like they're part of a team. And there's no competition on the stage, absolutely none. And if you might be competing in your mind with some other drummers, some far away, thoughts and stuff, but really it comes down to, I think the empathy in music and the empathy in sports are really important. People don't realize how much people care for their teammates. It's a love. You're attached to them in some way. You don't have to go home with them, and hang out all the time. But when you're together, you feel this connection, and that's part of getting into the zone. Now, when you talk about the flow state, it really came together with me when I started writing my first book, Drumming at the Edge of Magic, in 1990, I think it was, and I started investigating these trance religions, Santeria, Candomblé, and most of the cultures out there in the world have to do with trance. Indian music, and even American music had that. Even the early rock and roll, there was these trance states that we would get into that we couldn't define. And then all of a sudden we realized that it was just focus and concentration and moving into these other mindsets and allowing the body to flow. And now we can articulate it. And that's what's been happening in the last 30, 40 years, is that we know a lot more about how to get into these trance states, which basically that's what all of these things are. It's trance is not a bad word or anything, it's a strange word. When you go down the highway and you miss an exit and you're daydreaming, you're in a big puppy trance.
Yeah.
Not harmful or anything. And these things aren't harmful.
Yeah.
But once you know how to go in and out of them and how to stay there, then that's the key to be able to win. And all of these rhythm masters that I interviewed are winners. They know how to go there, they know how to stay there, and they know how to win.
Yeah.
And sports is just, just a miniature of life, is what we do with rhythm, only in sports. It's all about rhythm. Without rhythm, there could be no sports.
Yeah.
You'd just be running into each other and, not having no teams.
Yeah.
There was no teamwork or any of that stuff. So the basis of it all is rhythm. Whether they realize it or not, now it's going to be an educational moment. This film could be looked at in those terms for a lot of people, and allowing their minds to be able to understand what they're doing or what they did, or other people looking at sports in a different way. These are very complicated. These are states of minds. These are not, unless you know what you're doing and how to get there and how to stay there, you can't win.
Yeah.
Because you're just swimming upstream. So that it tells a lot of stories. This Rhythm Masters work.
Yeah. So this has been phenomenal. We appreciate both of your times. I have one last question. It's a rowback question. RHOBACK.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. So everyone, please do watch Rhythm Masters out debuting tonight on ESPN as you're listening to this. Mickey, this is a dumb question. I'm sure you've gotten it a million times, but when someone asks me, what is explain your love for the Grateful Dead, I basically say, listen, the beauty of is that I don't even know what my favorite like song or show is because it changes every day. And I'll find a show that I'd never heard, and that will be my favorite show, or a song that something unlocks in my brain. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm listening to this song and I never listened to it this way. But is there a specific time and place that you look back to and you're like, everyone has their own favorites, but your own personal, like that's where it was. That was what I look back at and I daydream about maybe that year or that little era or whatever it may be, that you just something that unlocks in your brain when you find yourself, kind of drifting off.
Well, one show was really in Cornell in 77.
Yep.
That 77 show in Cornell. There was a few songs that night that was superb, just beyond, anything we've ever played before. But there are nights just sprinkled all through the 60 years of playing. When you play good, that's it. You can, if it's even one song, sometimes it happens and then the rest of the songs you can't quite get it. But whenever the magic happens, then that's everything. That's your whole life. Remember, I've been playing most of my life, my whole life, actually, pretty much. I've been playing for 75 years. So, it's everything. You put everything you have into it, and it gives it back to you, in a lot of ways. It makes you happy, and it does things to you physiologically, whereas it reduces your stress. It makes you a better life. It makes you learn how to love, because that's what music does, and that's what sports does.
Yeah.
You can't play great sports and not love it. And so you learn about love, you learn about empathy, and you learn about the good.
Yeah.
And so it's much deeper than just playing a sport. The benefits you get from it are extraordinary. The more you put in, the more you get back. The longer you can stay there, the better it is. And never quit, never stop unless you have to. And that's, of course, a lot of times it's ripped away, injuries and so forth. Same thing happens in my work, injuries all the time. You have to overcome them, and you have to heal yourself and come back again. So it's just not like getting up there and playing the drums. I have to train. Every tour I train for months to get up there and be able to relax and just, not hurt myself.
Yeah.
And it's the same way in sports, so you have to understand that these players are really, they put in so much time. All of us, any professional that's at this level, has to give their heart to it. And there are benefits to that when you give yourself up and your heart to something. It is really hard to describe, but what you take away from it and what you take from that power into your regular life is really what's important. I hope that the people don't leave the music where at the hall, at the venue, that they take that feeling home and do good with it.
Yeah.
And that's really the payoff for me. If I know that's happening, then I've done a good job and I feel great about it.
Yeah.
It's not just about the concert. It's about what you do with that feeling.
Yeah. Well, Mickey, thank you so much. And Wright, thank you so much. Everyone go watch it. It was an incredible movie. And Mickey, I'm holding you to it. You did say that you guys were going to do some more Sphere dates. That's me. You might not have exactly said that, but that's what I took from it.
That's not exactly
what you said, but that's exactly what I heard. And
that's
it's all
what
up,
I meant.
Yeah, it's all up to interpretation.
I meant, but I didn't say it.
but that's what he meant.
Yeah, that's what you meant. So thank you so much. This was a thrill, and we really appreciate it. And everyone go see Rhythm Masters. And thanks so much, guys.
Thanks for asking. Good questions, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
That interview with Mickey Hart and Wright Thompson is brought to you by our friends over at Peacock and their new show, Mr. Throwback. If you're looking for a new show to binge, check out Mr. Throwback on Peacock, starring Adam Pally and Ego Wodum. Follow Danny, a down-on-his-luck memorabilia dealer who's looking for redemption by reuniting with his middle school teammate, NBA legend Steph Curry. That's right, NBA great Steph Curry goes from the court to the screen in this comedy mockumentary that's pure gold. It's got basketball style and an epic lie that's about to come out eventually. You know what they say, ball don't lie, but sometimes people do. We know that Huey wrote his script for the Carmelo Anthony mega drama that's going to be coming out soon, hopefully. But they might be one step ahead of you putting an NBA player into a comedy, Huey. Steph Curry in his first scripted TV role, Mr. Throwback, streaming now only on Peacock. All episodes of Mr. Throwback streaming now on Peacock. If you're looking for something to binge, check it out, Mr. Throwback.
Okay, let's finish up. We got a couple FAQs. It's been a long show.
Long show.
Long show. Way too much talking.
A lot of fun.
Way too much talking for myself.
Listen, football's going to be back soon. This was fun. I had fun today.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Hank. Once football is back and the Patriots are in gear, I'm sure you're not going to be talking at all.
Yeah, too much Hank and too much hating from Hank, and that's all right. But I will say this, memes, he sent me some hater questions. I was like, send them, and then he just instead sent me questions that are going to make it look like I asked these, and they're setup questions, so
oh no.
Rude. Long time AWL.
Memes can't exist.
I've noticed that it seems like every single guy in the crew now loves the West. Colorado Grit Week, Arizona Super Bowl, Chill Week. Have you ever thought? Again, I did not pick these questions. Have you ever thought about a winter trip out west?
Oh, winter trip out west. We don't really do winter trips. Because
think you guys would love an après ski trip after the Super Bowl. Maybe hit the slopes, check out some winter sports scenes, and it's a vibe.
Après ski.
Much love.
Yeah.
What is it? Après?
Après after ski. We don't usually travel that much in the wintertime because we've got football on TV, and then we've got the Super Bowl. I guess we did go out west last year for the Super Bowl to Vegas.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't really travel that much in the wintertime. I love it out west.
Yeah, I had a great time. We're going to go to Tahoe every year. Grit Week will not be out west next year. I think we've actually
talking about San Diego week.
We've kind of done a good. If you look at the Grit Week year after year, the last time we went out west was 5 years ago. So this was the first time in 5 years that we did it. It just happened that we did Tahoe. Yeah, Tahoe will be every year.
Yeah, I mean the West Coast is a hidden gem.
It is.
Los
People
Angeles.
Don't talk about it.
Los Angeles is great.
California,
Malibu, hidden gem.
They should write some songs about California.
I don't think that would play.
The Boo. Where is the furthest place you would travel if it meant you got to interview one of your white whales?
White whale. So like Katie, Belichick, Miley. Who else?
Yao Ming.
Brady.
Yao Ming, white whale.
Key West.
I would go to Brazil.
They would eventually be back.
Brady probably wouldn't be in Brazil.
So I don't know why.
Colombia.
It wouldn't make sense in my head. I'd be like, aren't you coming back?
Hank, would you go to Hawaii to interview Tom Brady?
Yep.
Wow.
I mean,
it's a shocker.
That's far.
I guess
Hawaii. I'd go to Europe.
Hank, would you
Japan.
go to the
But
beach?
I would just simply say, aren't they coming back?
What if the answer was no?
Katie's never coming back.
He might not. He was having fun on that water slide.
Dude, I love that water slide pick. He is the most relatable. Put your arms up like a little kid.
All right, last one. Hey, guys, just curious how close of friends you are outside the show. Do you consider each other more of coworkers or friends?
Family.
I think, yeah, it's closer than friends.
Actually, Mickey Hart kind of got on it where it was like he had a line there in the interview where he was like, you know, maybe you're not spending every second outside of it, but when you're in it together, there's no bond like it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it is. I mean, I spend outside of my immediate family, I spend the majority of my time with everyone in this room.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we're not going out on Friday night because we're spending 70 hours together.
Yeah. And also, like, if you got 3 kids, it's probably not.
Yeah.
You probably can't be like, hey, I'm going to hit happy hour.
I would say it's close. It's as close to family as you can get. Like,
I consider you guys my family.
Yeah, I do too. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's family.
I was thinking about that the other day. Like, the fact that we've been working together for 8 years, 9 years?
8 years.
8 years? Is it 8 full years now?
8 full
8
years.
8.5.
8.5
11
years.
for me and Big Cat.
Yeah, 8.5 years. And like most shows, if you work with anybody for 8.5 years, there will be little petty conflicts that end up driving the show apart.
Not us.
Not us.
No petty conflict.
None of that.
No.
And the fact that we've avoided going at each other's throats at all.
Yeah, completely.
It's actually great. It's very healthy for me and Big Cat to have Hank in this.
Oh yeah, he absolutely is he's nuclear deterrent.
Yeah.
It is crazy though. Listen, like I mean, even recently it was Jesus and Mero. You know, the whole documentary about Francesa and Mad Dog just not speaking off air.
Yeah.
Like, we are very blessed. What?
No, it's what I mean, I think that you guys have joined in hating me, and that has helped you guys.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a very useful position.
I was thinking the other day, I don't know if I said this on the show, but I feel like the first 10 years of your life you don't really remember, or like you're not really in control of. It's basically your parents, you know, they set up your play dates, they set up what you're doing, they set up your hobbies, whatever. And then 10 to 20, you're kind of in more control. You know what you're doing. You know what you like. But so it's basically 10 to 20, 20 to 30 for me. And it's like half my life has been with you guys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I texted you guys
It's a third, but
when
it's
you guys
really a
were
half.
out.
Right. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last week of August when I was here and you guys were out, I texted you like, what, day 2? And I was like, I miss you guys. Because it was like, obviously there's a lot of people that I work with here and I love all of them, but
Except for Brandon.
It was very weird not having you guys here. I was just like, I kept on like kind of wandering around being like, oh, I wonder what Max is up to. I wonder what PFT's up to. Oh shit, they're not here.
Yeah.
So don't ever leave again.
Okay.
Hank.
No.
What do you mean no?
I will leave again.
Vacations.
I feel like coming to work is a vacation.
No, it's about to be. That is true.
Well, you don't think that.
I do. I just like, again, whatever. We've been doing it for so long. I've said this a million times. We work a lot. I like to recharge and refresh.
Play a lot. And by recharge and refresh,
Come back violently hungover.
super hungover.
It's the Air and Water show.
That's true.
On Sunday?
It was on Sunday.
It was on Sunday.
Just for the record,
You got me
too,
on that
I wanted to say that, Hank, I for a moment I felt bad for saying that you were hungover on Sunday's show, but it was to me there's hangovers, a regular hangovers, like don't mention it. Your body like couldn't your whole aura was zapped out of you.
Yeah, I was like fully depressed yesterday. I had to.
It was like it was shocking to see you even try to come up with words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I wanted to let everyone know.
I was in a full state of depression on
But it was
Monday.
worth it.
But we're back. Yeah.
Post elevator depression.
Yeah.
It was worth it. All right, good show. Let's do numbers. 20.
17.
8.
56.
3.
Shane?
I gotta wait for Pug. I always go after Pug, but 21.
Pug's going to take 99.
Pug is 99. Here he is. Say
Go,
it, Pug.
99 Pug.
By the way, Pug's dream is to have somebody recognize
21.
him at some point when we're out. So please, next time you see Pug, just go up to him and be like, Pug, I dig your vibe.
61.
Love you guys.